welcome to the Creator Jam. We'll just be getting started in a second. This is the beginning where we wait for everybody and get everything kind of worked out. And let's get back to first person now. There we are, perfect. And have all this stuff going. Perfect. Yay. All right. So yeah, this is going to be a fun jam. It's going to be a little bit out there. We're going to be dealing with perception. You've already done some stuff, Monsoon. You've had plenty of things. So this won't be too crazy. There's a lot of variety in this type of jam, and it's one of those type of themes that can be really vague for some and too overwhelming. And so usually to kind of help with that, I have a list of like ideas and a bunch of examples. This is a share folder that includes a ton of samples and reference items for people to use to tear apart, to see about making your own things. It won't be a permanent share folder, but it'll be for today. Hey, welcome person on the stream. Let me know if the audio is not working. If you can hear me, let me know. There's always seems to be audio issues, and shouldn't be this time, but it's hard telling. And yeah, I'll probably go over with you all some things right now, and then you'll just get to hear this in a repeated form.
As usual.
Yeah, right.
It's not a problem.
Nice to see you, DJ Nightmares. It's been a little while. So if you look at the share folder, you'll see a bunch of stuff. And this is just some of the general effects and some other things that are going to be kind of mixed in here as far as different topics. The share folders are a lot of whatever you see in here. I tried to make a reference for the share folder, so there might be more stuff inside that you might want to check out. And then worlds are a bunch of different worlds you can explore. I think they have some kind of element that might refer to some stuff that we were doing. And one of these we'll open up and go into that's a little bit trippy. The Space Jam, which is something I was using as like a testing ground. But we'll do that a little bit later. And then a bunch of materials that are kind of fun. Note that under the share folders of videos only, this is for like video textures and other stuff. And you can probably use them for other things like this probably. Feels a bit weird. If you're...
I don't think I have everything in the folder.
Oh, weird. Which thing? The materials is not showing up, is it? Oh, weird. Let's fix that. Huh. I don't know why materials wouldn't be. That's no good.
Yeah, I don't seem to have it either. Weird.
Oh, well, I'll make one with materials. There, we have a materials folder. And I'll make that. I'll add that to the share. And then make it also its own share. See if that's like a hack in it. Half that'll work, maybe. Go to the, well, let's see. Go to the cloud and then see if that'll refresh it. And I would get out of the share mode and actually let's turn that off. Okay. And go back to the private mode to see if you can see it. I find that there's sometimes little weird things with that. Do you all see it now, the materials?
Hold on. What?
The materials folder in the share?
Yeah. Do you see it? No?
No.
You don't even
It
see
doesn't
that?
appear to be there. That's weird.
Huh.
What we see.
Well, I'm just going to open up every single one of these and put it in the share. Fine. We'll do it the most hacky way possible.
Fine, Neos. We'll have it your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this works.
And then I'll just add them all in here, and we won't have a material folder. I'll just say notice everything right near the wasp will be.
I don't like how this one makes noise when you're near it.
Oh, the heartbeat one.
Yeah, that's kind of
Oh,
a little too realistic for me.
Yeah, it is. But then again, the type of feel it gives pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely the theme for the day.
It doesn't have to be awful too. You don't have to
No,
like.
I gotcha.
Hopefully, not everyone makes things that just bring anxiety and fear into everyone. That would be bad news.
The most
I try and save that for the Halloween
terror-inducing
time.
Sure,
jam.
you, not
Yeah.
everyone will.
That's true. Welcome, person on the stream. If you can hear me, let me know. I need to try and make sure the audio is going. The bad part is if they can't hear me, then I already I'm screwed. But but yeah,
You
okay.
want one of us to go check whether.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind. Hey, Curious.
Sure. I don't mind.
Bean's got it.
I'll go check for you. I got a second screen.
Oh, no, never mind. You don't have to worry about it. Draconis.
Oh.
Thanks, Draconis. Woo!
They confirmed?
All right.
Alright, cool.
Confirmed. I'm past the noob level, like
Makes my
noob
job
plus.
easier.
All right.
I don't have it. Whatever.
Ah, there, it's straightened. That bugs me a little. Oh, no, it isn't. Whatever. Okay. All right.
Inspect it and set the rotation.
I know. I just don't want to do that. I also have a tool
Yeah,
I could
no.
do that with. Okay. So,
That'd be neat.
okay. So perception. The way I like to think of perception, or at least in these terms, this is very, very broad. Is I like to think of the brain kind of like a muscle, like a series of muscles. You know, like if you're leaning on one leg too long, then you'd have to shift to the other. And if you can think about all the little parts in the brain just kind of acting and being activated and being used at different times under different circumstances, that sum total, including the body, would kind of like encompass what is perception. And so that's why all of us have like different neurophysiology, and therefore, we kind of different and have different perceptions. I mean, that's very, very not heavily scientific
Not
way to think of
neuroscience,
it.
you're
Yes,
not
thank you,
typical at all.
thank you. But
This
just
guy on the internet that said that
Yeah.
my brain's made out of muscles.
yep, it's all muscles. Yep, yep. Now buy this fluid that you drink once a day, and it'll keep your head from swelling, and then you'll be
Heard
good.
of snake
You go
oil?
buy snakes have legs.
So, what's nice about this is I'm not condoning the use of drugs. Just saying, just on stream.
Good disclaimer. Good disclaimer.
But we'll have a couple that we're going to bring out that are kind of digital. So you're welcome to try these mushrooms.
Simulations.
So we can try out different perceptual states, and this is just one of them. It's a little bit more jarring. So feel free to grab one, put it right up to your mouth, duplicate them. And if you put it up to your mouth, you'll see what happens in a second. Oh, I shouldn't have made it so large here.
Ah, the mushroom is
Come on, there we are. Yeah, it needs to be tinier. Use the tinier ones. The tinier ones work better.
There you go.
Put it near your mouth. Yeah, and so
Legal in VR.
it is. And so
It's not illegal yet, that's for sure.
basically what happens is you're going to see that this is just changing. It's probably putting an orb around your head. I'm not sure the exact thing, but you can simulate this by having like a two-sided, or like have the culling reversed. So the orb changes color that's attached to your head that you don't see. And then it gives you that kind of visual effect that kind of messes with you. Now, you don't get the everything breathing, unfortunately, which would be really neat to do. But I do have that under Space Jam, some stuff that deals with like breathing using a texture called a displacement material that messes with the vertices of an object. And so you get some really, really messed up fun effects. So this is a nice jam to be able to play around with effects.
Does it
And-
wear off?
Something
Yes, it does wear off. I'm sorry, I didn't even say that. Yeah, you were like this forever. Help!
What a terrible item.
The disco jam at this point.
Yeah.
Jam.
Yeah, we stopped making the jam all together and just started dancing the whole time.
Really one of the more successful jams.
Yes.
Not the most productive ones, but
And like
That's
this is another a LUT with a camera also
Hmm.
that gives you like a Game Boy camera effect. So you're getting kind
Oh
of
yeah,
similar.
pixelizes.
And so you can
I
use
am
LUTs, you can
Pokemon.
use other types of effects to do kind of similar what this mushroom does, to mess with our visual perception. So you're able to really mess with it through those type of ways. And there's a lot of different. Here's one that something that Vigilaboo made. You'll find this. This is just one of the materials.
Ooh.
If you grab it near yourself, you can see
That
it.
is weird.
But if you move
It
back, you
inverts
can see how it.
That's so weird. What's it doing?
You're just inside a sphere, or probably this one probably has some kind of. Looks like since it fades, it probably has some kind of lerp to it as a user distance, and you could tear it apart. That's what's beautiful. I brought a bunch of these things in to play around with. We could play around with people walking. Right now, temporarily, Vigilaboo's music notes are not able to be accessed, but I had a couple here. So if you go into walk mode. Oh wait, I want the other one. Here, give me a duplicate of that one, if you don't mind. So you have to equip it, and then
Gives you a theme song.
yeah, it's when you're in walk mode. So you could use this for like step. Gearball uses this same thing for like the stepping for
Oh.
the centaur.
Oh, like walk, 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 walk kind of sound effect?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, I can't get it. Sometimes I can make it so if you move fast enough, it'll move really quickly. Darn it, I can't make it. If you move fast enough, it'll. If the user speed gets fast enough, you get the other sound effect. Let's see if I can bump that up.
You know, was this made before the walk speed was changed?
Yeah, that's why I'm changing
That
the
would probably
speed
explain it.
exponent.
That would probably explain why.
Am I able to spawn things? Or is
You should be able to.
your inventory?
yeah.
Oh, the from the share.
From this big thing.
No, you have to
No,
use your
it's
own
gotta be
inventory.
From your own inventory.
Well, if you move quick enough, this.
Share folder here. Like over there, there's a share folder you can put in.
I
Yeah,
saw
you
that.
just-
I
you
gotta
just add that
notice
share.
Oh,
Well, if you move fast enough, it starts becoming an orchestra, but it's not going to work for everyone.
There you go.
But you could use this for a lot of fun, interesting things, like maybe as you're walking, it says something to you, like as if someone's talking to you, or
Yep.
maybe
I don't know what that says.
the sound of the
It
movement.
essentially
Probably.
says appeared, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it only works as you move.
And this
Yeah,
just says
when you
nobody's
equip it.
there.
Something else cool would
That'd
be
be so cool.
like cool to look in to is like the fog effects shader.
Oh yeah, that's true. Except, oh yeah, I'm glad you brought
can
that up.
Easily spawn that in.
Well, I was just going to mention, if you bring that up, that part, make sure we, let's see, close this. Okay.
Cannot scale.
We might want to bring in to use the fog effect for
It's pretty neat.
for a separate
Yeah.
world, because the
Oh,
fog
you're
effect.
invisible on the other side.
If you shoot it with like,
Yeah, the
well, I guess yeah, we could use it within a certain
pixelate
se-
material doesn't support.
Yeah, we could use it within a shape. Absolutely.
Whatever you're made of.
Okay.
Oh no, I was thinking fog volume as far as entire world. No, it's cool to use it within small areas.
Didn't do anything to me either.
You could have
Oh, really?
assign it to a cube.
Really, it didn't change any of the lighting.
And Monsoon Baby just said he can't, like, on the other
Yeah,
side
his
of his, my stuff disappeared.
That's different.
I don't.
I've never
I don't
seen
know
that
if
before.
That's familiar, or if that's associated, but I know I've used the material this is made of called pixelate. Sometimes things like that, where it's like a transparent filter, it doesn't support other transparent objects.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm surprised
This
about.
one- whoa.
Oh, so I
like
wonder.
this one in
Okay, let's see.
Blur and things like that.
Mhm.
Refract also does the same
You might
thing.
want to change
That's
it to a
why,
separate avatar temporarily just to see if it changes for you.
Yeah, I'm
maybe.
curious if it sees the material here. Well, yeah,
It
something
doesn't
weird's
appear to
going on
be,
with me. Well, okay, so right now what I'm seeing is no orb, but when I move it over here, I see an orb.
Oh, that's
So
weird.
my
Very
stuff, I don't know.
strange. So many things
Do
happening.
you see? Is this pink to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
you're having
it's
some
not
kind
pink
of.
to me. I don't.
Maybe you have some syncing thing going on or something odd.
Maybe.
I would maybe reset Neos and come back in and see if that changes things for
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. I'll see you in a while.
you. Okay.
We'll hold on to this for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Weird. Anyway.
So we do have another one that's a little bit more has music attached to it. This is a fake blunt.
This one.
You can smoke it if you want. It's kind of loud. It does pretty similar
boy.
effects to the. And all I'm doing right now is just showing states of inebriation type of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Because
other
that's easy
states.
to get examples for.
Yeah, something that's immediate that you're like, oh, I see. This is changing my perception right now. But we have other things that might be able to be visualizing mathematics or be like
Whoa.
being able to perceive math. And not that this is doing that per se, but
Right. It kind of falls into the vein of like what's it called? Illusions and
yeah, visual effects,
yeah.
effects and illusions.
This one's funny.
What the heck?
Yeah, that one's neat.
It's just a bunch of cubes with like the sides inverted or just a
Yeah,
back facing material. You know, a bunch of them.
and this one's
Oh,
music.
that one does
Has,
music. Hey.
and so you can mess around with. And I know right now I'm showing a lot. Let me know if it becomes too overwhelming.
A shiny. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's great. Help! Wah 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 wah.
And
Maybe have the hypno room.
we'll try to get them out of each other.
Let's see.
There we go.
You can deal with stuff with
Wasn't
cat.
that something Leon made?
Yeah. Well, this I'm not sure. I think Vigilaboo maybe made this one if I'm correct, and then landed that, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
Maybe not.
And then this
I remember
uses
seeing this
camera,
one.
the camera effects to give interesting type of look.
Oh yeah.
So you could maybe have a localized camera attached to someone that doesn't refresh all the time, and have some other things. You could do some really interesting stuff with that.
Yeah, you can do a lot of interesting things with camera textures.
And then this one is the new UI, and so you could do stuff where things are disappearing or appearing, or
Oh, what the hell?
only. So you could have it to where maybe like there's avatars. Have you ever seen the movie They Live? The one where someone puts on glasses, then everyone has like these crazy, or all the aliens have these crazy skull faces.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's all kinds of secret messages. You could do that where like
Ooh. Neato.
hey, welcome, Jeff.
Just,
We're just kind of talking about the Creator Jam right now. Feel free, pop up here.
only gets bigger.
We're talking about like what to do, some ideas for people that might not have any at the moment.
There we go.
No, not right now.
Huh.
But feel free to check out what we're kind of.
Wait, which way is it? My floor is sand? Here.
Let's see. We have some stuff that deals with like ASMR type things,
Ooh.
like people. If you,
Wait,
Like,
no,
it-
not my fingers.
it takes the color of based on where you're shaving. Let's see.
Oh, we're
It's
hitting
the camera. Yeah.
That's funny. Huh.
Why are you shaving my skin?
He has no
It
hair.
was growing too long. You had to cut down the skin.
Oh, was one of my kebab?
And under share folders, under sensory seeking, there's a bunch of stuff like that. So you can play around with those. Or being inside
Oh, Jesus.
a type of creature. Maybe you
Heck,
have
that's great.
you could have
That's amazing.
something that's kind of visual. This is one of Gearbell's. But if
Oh,
you,
figures. She's crazy. Oh, God.
Mosquito. Got him.
So those are just some of the ideas. Let's pop in the world just temporarily. I'll show you
try
Space
world
Jam
map.
and show you the displacement mapping on objects, which is really fun. It's basically using these
Loud
textures,
music.
but kind of tweaking them out and using music to drive it.
Neat.
So I'll start a session real quick, and then just when I load and join.
Sounds good.
What? I didn't expect the song.
This-
So yeah, this is pretty weird. But you can see like different
Oh god.
the different models, like this one, how it displaces versus this
Yeah.
and this one is basically this head, this alien head. So you can get some really
This
weird
is-
effects.
This is definitely an experience. Is that a couch?
Yeah, it's a couch.
It's just a couch. It has dolphins on it.
Yeah, this is one I found for the an asset I found for the Noob Toots jam, where you could sit and watch something by everyone just sitting on the couch. So
This
yeah,
is great.
Open couch.
but that's also another thing in one of the worlds. Just perspective changes just by having something where
Oh yeah.
you know everything's larger. It gives you kind of a different feel. And this is using the first shader and then driving one of the different a couple of the different values to give you this.
Oh my god. If I look at the floor, I might actually die.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
What do you mean?
So yeah, feel free to check out this world and look at how it works. You can. I have the logics opened up, and this is the material for one of them.
Oh, it's the first shader.
The ground's the first shader. The rest of it's a different shader. It's the rest of it's this shader.
Right. Yeah, the first shader to make it a little bit more random, I'm guessing.
Yeah. The first shader just used it driving. Let's see.
Gives it that weird texture.
The fur hardness and fur
Yeah.
thinness. Yeah. And the rest of these are just using that vertex displacement. Yeah, oh yeah, warning. This is just to show a couple different texture tricks with logics. It's really not crazy difficult. It's pretty easy, and you could really do some interesting things.
It's not as painful if you fly into the sky a little bit.
Yeah, you have to be flying. I would not suggest walking in here.
Just get my oh god.
So yeah, but you guys get the idea. I just wanted you to see a variety of like how it distorts. Like, if you have different types of UV mapping, you can see how it distorts in a way that might be interesting. All right, I'm gonna close out of this one.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, there we are. That is much more calm, visually calm. But that gives you a different feel, that's for sure. Like if you,
Can we get a therapy room from this from this gym?
yeah, we might have a cool down room where you just like hang out, chill room, and everything just like calming. But that would be
Everything is
something.
very nice carpet.
Coffee shop.
So yeah, does anyone have any questions or? I wrote.
I have a good idea of what's going on now.
And I wrote down some different ideas, like historical perspective. You could do something that comes from like a different point of view. Goose is from Bean, which how's that working out?
It's there kind of, but like it
man.
could use some tweaking, which I could do today. Right
Oh
now.
man, this is gonna be exciting! I can't wait to see it. But dealing
I'll
with
show it after,
different
after you're done.
different mental states.
Something. It's just this world that drives.
Oh, weird.
Let's make this work.
Yeah, like I can all the same stuff like normal, but just this world is the one where I can't interact in the way that I normally would. So I
That
don't know
doesn't
what's
make
going on.
any sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I seem to be okay.
Huh?
Oh shit. Skin.
But what?
I'm on Quest Link. That might have something to do with it.
Maybe, but still, I don't. That's real weird. We'll have to look into that. When I have some extra time, we might want to try it out and see what the heck's going on in here.
This stuff is neat. Oh, that's badass.
But I wanted to play
You
around.
can at least experience everything.
Yeah. Play around with like possibly mental states, like mental illness to whatever people consider that, like definitely things that aren't neurotypical. Then like meditative places, intoxicated psychedelic. There's some really, I would strongly suggest going to Circuitry's worlds. Those are very interesting to check out. That's under the mandalas.
The mandalas?
Yeah, the mandalas.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
definitely worth seeing. If you haven't seen one before, you should definitely check them out at least once. Looking into non-human perspectives like insect animals. What if you were a salt shaker? You know, like what would that be like? You could have, you know, there's all kinds of stuff.
Shook
You're like,
upside down.
help. I remember seeing a short film that was from the viewpoint of a cell phone, which was really interesting.
That sounds very short film.
Oh,
That sounds very interesting.
It was neat. It went through, like, person ended up breaking it, and it was fixed, and then someone else had it later on. The viewpoint of a bullet or
Nice.
fire.
How it would be to be a microwave.
True. Yeah. Well, Guilefix was talking about using things with relativity and stuff like that, which would be interesting. I saw something from there's a game, but I never tried it, where you're a tree, and you grow and all kinds of things like that. And there's I forgot, there's an Adventure Time that has them reincarnate as trees and different animals and things like that from those perspectives. That's
Oh, is this the chat on the text document? I didn't even notice that. Yeah, just until now.
yeah. I throw all the
I
notes.
wasn't
This
reading it, really.
part of this came up from the accessibility jam, where there was really two different ideas. One was seeing from the perspective of others, and the other one was making accessibility tools. And so in a way, this jam comes from an extension of that. And so having things like, there's some kind of blindness simulator in VR chat.
Yeah.
And this isn't to make fun of or make a game mode out of someone's disability, but more so
it's
just
to
trying
raise
to...
awareness.
Exactly. And like I was thinking with, as far as like social anxiety and other things, to think about, like when you hear birds like in a tree, to think about all the voices and everything else going on, that everything's just really intense. They play around with that.
I remember playing a game about social anxiety once. It was actually pretty interesting. It was like a two-dimensional thing made by one guy, and he was like, everything you had to do, like it was all like social stuff, and like everything you had to do required like really correct timing, and it was like one example was like, you go up to someone at like the coffee shop who's like gonna take your order, and like it's on this like dial that's like bouncing back and forth between two actual answers, and then like you accidentally hit the one in the middle and you say like the combination of the two things, and it's really awkward.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's cool.
That's really creative.
Was that on Steam?
It was on Steam. It was I think it's called Just Barely, but barely is spelled as in like the animal bear.
Interesting.
Oh, right. Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, it was really cheap.
That's
It
a cool.
was a really good game.
Yeah, that's a cool
Probably,
adaptation of that.
Yeah,
Neat.
kind of reminds me of that.
And then the rest of it was like some stuff from Beast's perspective. So this is just my general notes all clustered together in a giant mess.
Yep.
But it's just useful. Mainly, a lot of the stuff is not for like a very tight guide, but more so like if you're running into problems, I'm here. We have a bunch of examples to go through.
If you're totally lost, you can just look through the list and it's like, oh, this
Yeah.
sounds cool.
Exactly. And then if after all of that you're still having trouble, just hang out. Just hang out or work with somebody or either at.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
Sounds good.
yeah, we can. Is there any other ones of these we should pop in? Certainly. Let's see. Definitely Pantheon of Minor Deities is interesting. It changes your body when you go in there, and it's pretty surreal. Endless Staircase, it is what it says. So yeah, might be worth checking out some of these different things. And yeah, do you mind showing what you've been working on, Bean?
It's not completely done. The wings are a little bit awkward still, but other than that, it's kind of done. Let me see. Find it. Where did I put this? There you go. forgot about that sound. So yeah, I'm a good. The wings are like kind of still looking like he's a humanoid, which I
Yeah.
might need to do something about. But
That's basically I'm playing the game. No, please. Please. My feet. I don't have any bells.
Oh, this is gonna be the meanest,
pretty
best thing you made. Oh, people are gonna get chased all the time. Can you imagine
Looks
an entire
really
room full of
accurate,
people?
too.
Yeah.
yes,
Just
I might
like
just like
12
make the
people,
wings.
all geese.
I might just make the wings like a toggleable, maybe, because in the game itself you don't always see the wings other than when someone's like attacking it, and they're like
Yeah, there's the
doing
button for
this.
just kind of like flapping.
Oh,
Yeah.
like make it a gesture. That's true.
Yeah,
That would make
the
it
wings
easier.
like a gesture. So
That's functionally how it works in the game. That would make sense.
Mm.
And then, like, when you pick up stuff, there's just no hand, so the goose just, like, has telepathy.
basically,
That or
'Cause I couldn't. I asked yesterday in the Discord whether someone knew if you could pick something up with your mouth, but that's,
Oh, yeah, I remember that
that's a no-no.
question.
really? I'm kind of surprised. You mean you couldn't like have something that is kind of like a wearable that as you put your face on it, it would
They
just.
say it's well, unless that I could maybe make
You
it so it's like
could fake
specifically
it.
only this object. Like
Yeah, you could
a
fake a
certain-
grabber,
not
like...
everything that's grabbable. Just make it so it parents it on here whenever it like collides with it.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
yes. Yeah, like
Depends on how
that.
you do it.
Maybe have
Well,
something switchable.
Then
You can turn it
it
on.
looks for like a tag, which is like it's like a tag which is like can grab or something, and
Yeah,
then
probably.
maybe you can like do that. But
Mhm.
other than that, I don't... yeah, I trigger it sometimes by accident because my controllers are not like I move. Like my secondary is also when I move, so it's kind of annoying.
The
Yeah,
natural
and-
instinct is to quack.
Yeah.
Or honk, I'm sorry. That's pretty good. Oh, no. And... Classic.
That's awesome. There might be a way to drive it like you do just the hands themselves, kind of like what Anomalous is doing.
Yeah, I don't.
With that.
I don't know how he did it. And yesterday I didn't ask yet because when I was done with this, I was like, I'm not doing anything else today.
Oh no!
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want you to burn yourself out on stuff like this. It's just
No, I'm not. Oh, he's doing like a. Wait, is he doing a crab sphere? Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, is that how the Velociraptors work?
yeah. This is in the under the Creator Jam Public under Dinos. I had that one in there too,
That's
just
weird.
so people could see how it works.
Well, yeah, that is maybe a way of doing it. So these wings are actually not really the hands.
And I think Danny's done the same thing also.
Yeah.
So I leave for 5 seconds and there's dinosaurs. Okay. Understandable.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Like from how that
Not that
Mhm.
it's just an offset, but I don't think I don't think that's gonna translate well for like wings that need to be like I don't know.
Mm,
I'll see. Because
true.
I've been
Is there
I've
a
been
way
thinking
to-
of like an offset, but it's just gonna offset it by
Yeah.
just a little bit.
You could
I
make the
don't
wings
know.
maybe dynamic bones, and then they're driven like Anomalous made an example for me a while ago. Let's see if I can find it. If I have something that's easy to find, let's see.
Gosh darn it. Oh, by the way, here's your face back.
There we are.
Oh,
These are dynamic
Did you
bones.
see his face?
Yeah.
Wait, you can do that?
There we are.
Did you respawn? I wonder why.
No,
it's
it was
not
just
now.
over
So you
there.
could have like the wings maybe
Okay.
going like this.
Wait, what is? It's freaking flapping.
Except
Oh
I guess
gosh,
they
it's all
your wings
wobbly.
would wiggle. Yeah, that might be a problem.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's
Didn't mean to. I keep accidentally.
No, try-
There we go.
Look, I'm Draconis.
Oh, right, yeah.
Let's
Alright,
get a
let's try
mirror.
Those are just arms at that point.
But you might be able to make those wings like, except they might be a little too wiggly.
Well, you can probably tune that a little bit.
Wow, that's
But
cool. He
you can
figured it too.
you can see how the hands drive the end point of the dynamic bone.
right.
Yeah, it's a cool use of it.
Yeah, so feel free to start making separate worlds that you enter into, or you can build stuff inside here. Like there's rooms under the Creator Jam share folder. There is rooms that you can use.
Oh,
You can make using those. They're not ideal, but they're not bad either.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
And
are
then
there rooms to create in? Or
if you want to, or you can build in a separate world, or just different sections. Feel free, or
That's
if,
a good idea.
depending on what you're building out. And I'm just gonna kind of we're kind of like done with the discussions phase. Feel free to start just messing with things.
Sounds good.
all
I
right.
also, Medra, I have a
yeah.
example. I just went to go get it of that, like the photo booth idea, where you explained
yeah.
like it would be better if it was open space. I snagged a copy of it.
Oh, I'd like to see
did
it.
not test if, I mean,
There.
the way I build things, it should all work if I
Okay.
just get the object. Oof. Okay. I put a flattened button on it, so on ground. Yeah.
Why is it so big?
There we go. Okay. So it this is a little camera thing, and then it shows what's up here. And
Okay.
if you step into or out of the square on the bottom, it'll parent you to the thing, so then you can actually be seen in the camera.
And
And
then
I also added you can change this to be whatever Creator Jam number you want.
okay.
And like there are some other things like if you wanted the background to just be like the skybox, or if you just wanted it to be like transparent or a color or something like that.
Okay. Now,
It's
I
not
noticed that-
very yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh well, I was just gonna say it's not very polished. I just like made it a little bit functional and stuff.
Oh, okay. Cool.
There are two resolutions right now. I think this one right now is just on the lower one. You can get like 1920 by 1080, which is standard desktop, and then like 2 times that, or 4 times, I guess.
Which is where does it generate the photo?
Oh, it appears like in front of the. If you want to hit take a picture, it'll do like a countdown for you.
Oh, I'm
then
trying.
it'll,
It's not doing anything right now.
Oh, weird. You're right. Well,
Hey, Zizel.
that's what I get for not testing things.
Oh, no worries.
That's okay.
Is there a way to adjust the camera? I noticed that I'm
I did not set that in yet, but that is the next point where I get to do that. Let me
but I'll show you
open
kind
it
of
up real quick.
what I like the idea of group mode. I didn't even think of a group mode with this.
Oh, weird. It removed all of my camera logics.
Huh.
Strange. I guess I'll have to. Well. Oh, I also if I delete
This is
this,
a new camera.
yeah, here. If I delete it, it doesn't kill anybody. So
That's good.
it removes all the users before it deletes itself. So I can go try to fix that and get a better copy.
Okay. And I'll show you kind
See
of
if
some
it's
stuff
not
I'm looking
done.
for as far as design-wise when we're in here.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for working
Alright.
what you're doing so far. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like your idea of just like having something to like take pictures of people who are contributing is just like it's one of those things where you think about it and it's like, why don't we have that yet? You know?
Yeah. There's also a world, I think, made by the Neos East community that made pillows, like where you shoot and then the people become like pillows or something like that.
That sounds fun.
There's a studio with that, so you might want to look at that.
That sounds good. All right, I'm gonna be right back.
I'm gonna say hey to Ziesel and kind of hello Ziesel. So yeah, welcome.
Oh yeah.
So we're dealing with perception. You're looking at the very messed up looking notes that are just kind of like a rough reference guide. Basically, we're dealing with perception today.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about like seeing through different avatars' eyes and other things like that. That's why Bean's working on a goose.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. A, I guess it would be incredibly uncomfortable. Potentially. And B, I wasn't quite sure how I would go about doing it. Oh, I'm lagging.
What were you thinking about? You there? I can't hear you, Ziesel, if you're talking. Okay. Well, when everything gets back to normal, just let me know. Can you hear me, DJ Nightmares? Oh, okay. All right. Poor guy. So yeah, let's see. So, is there any? Oh, can you hear me, Ziesel? Odd. So what are you thinking about getting into for this DJ Nightmares?
Wow.
Sure. And feel free, people on the stream, if there's ideas you'd like to see happen, let us know.
I was thinking about making an experience about gender dysphoria.
Ooh, nice. That's a good
wow.
idea. Yeah, that would be great. Absolutely. What ways you're thinking about going about it?
Right now, I'm having sort of filters apply when you're trying to send a message to come out, and it sort of gets like more grayscale and distorted when you get closer to the button.
You get closer to the what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the other part.
The button to send the message.
Oh, interesting. And so it's kind of like as you're trying to communicate, it becomes more and more difficult. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. You could definitely use filters like as user gets closer to object or something like that, it does some logic-y stuff to basically add a blur filter if you want a blur filter or some other thing like that. There's materials that do that. If you need any help or have any questions on that, let me know. I'd be happy to help out. But yeah, I think that works. Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to work on it today because I have to help my dad install the floor.
Oh, no worries. There's no obligation to do anything either. Like if you're not feeling it, that's okay. And also if you're busy, I completely understand. I've installed floors. I've been there. Oh, have fun. Oh man. Yeah. What type of flooring is it? Like linoleum or wood, or in particular type?
Hardwood.
Oh boy. Whew. Well, good luck with it all.
Thanks.
Oh, Draconis. Yeah, meditative inducing world would be nice. Kind of like some of the stuff that circuitry has. Absolutely, that would definitely fall in within the scope of like perceptual states. Absolutely. So, oh, Zizel, you were before.
Yeah.
Your voice wasn't. I don't know if you're having some kind
Yeah,
of glitch
no,
or
I-
something.
Yeah, something weird happened. Like the world went strangely silent, and
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I was watching some of the stream before I came in, and I heard you mentioning like data visualization.
Yeah, absolutely. Data visualization could be.
So this week I've actually been working on trying to produce 3D plots in Neos, and I think I've got it working. So if I load in a bit of data. Okay, my Neos is lagging tonight. Yes. So if I plug this in, so this is basically just a string with like data. So it's basically three-dimensional data.
Basically using it as an
put that
array,
in.
kind of like a fake
Yeah,
array.
yeah,
right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So if I do that, and then
Nice.
what's the data? I mean, it's not data that means anything. It was just a test case, but yeah, I was quite pleased with that. And then I think I figured out a hacky way to get it to produce what looks like a surface plot instead of plots like that. It should load in. There we go. So if I use the same data. Oh, no, that's not supposed to happen. Strange. Okay, I'll fix that. Have we got anything in here which is particularly performance demanding?
Can you
These
add some
things
stuff
seem
in
a
here?
little.
Is there anything in here
No,
that's
no.
doing that? Here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything which is really.
Yeah, let's kill him.
bad.
Let's kill him out. I'll do that first. That might help you out.
I don't know. It's
There we
probably
are.
just my internet connection being horrendous. But
There we are. This is all the stuff I could think of that would have any little bit.
yeah, that's all right. I can hear you now anyway. Yeah, so I don't know what happened here. I will figure this out and give you a shout when I've worked it out.
Oh, no worries. And you might even want to do height maps with some of it. That might work too. You could use a camera and height maps with vertex displacement.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually how it's supposed to work. I just don't know how it's bugged out this time.
Oh no.
I'll figure it out.
Okay. So hey Jeff, you came to the last Creator Jam. You're the person that had some ideas with game stuff, right? Before.
Yeah.
Cool. How's that coming along?
It's going okay. I got a little bit done. I haven't been on much this week, but I think it's coming along.
Heck yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
Are you interested in participating in the jam today?
I think so. I'm not really sure where to begin, but I think I'm just gonna
Honestly,
hang
I'm not
around
too
until
sure
I
either.
think of something.
Okay. What type of game are you making? Maybe we can relate it to something similar to what you're working on in the game, and that way it's kind of like you're working on stuff that you already wanted to work on anyway.
I don't know how we want to relate it, but I'm just doing like a PvP game with like a team battle, I guess. With you have to get there's two teams. Each team has to get 50 hits on other people to win.
Well, it's kind of like laser tag in a sense.
It's pretty,
Mhm.
yeah.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
You could do visual effects that when someone's shot, is it a one hit and they're dead? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. You could have it the
Oh.
the death sequence, like as they get hit, like everything fades to white and then boop, they respawn. Or you could play around with that.
Okay, yeah.
You could play around with basically what it would do is upon hit, attach sphere to head. Sphere has effects and person. You could make it local so that way everyone doesn't see a sphere attached to someone's head. And so that's something you could do. It's kind of like, let's see if it's still around. I might have deleted it.
The mushroom.
I was thinking the
Oh,
this orb.
the sort of grid sphere thing that.
Oh, that's the wrong
inverted
thing. Whoops. Yeah, that's. Oh man, that was right here. Is it me or is it? Oh, there it is. That one. That's why it always throws me off. It's not. So this, as you're close to it,
Yep.
and that could be the.
Mhm.
And just imagine this is any other effect, whether it's something blurring, and so you could have it where everything just blurs out and then maybe fades to white or fades to a color. And
Uh-huh.
not necessarily that you have to do that at all, but it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this thing works. It's got logics on it.
That's
Seems relatively simple.
that's kind of the beauty of this is there's a lot of fun things for people to say, I wonder how this works and tinker
So
with
it
it
is a
and then get ideas
it's a
from
local
that.
user slot thing. I think I'll make a copy of that and then dissect it a bit.
Sure.
Oh, it is
Feel
not
free to
the right-
dissect in world.
Wait, did I break it? No, I didn't. Okay, good. I thought duplicating broke it. Apparently, you can't have two of them next to each other.
Oh, what happens?
Oh.
Is it not like that?
Yeah, I guess not. But also, if you come over to this one, you
Yeah.
can see a sphere around the other one.
Oh, interesting. It's like the other ones there. Like you.
I guess it's because it's inverting the other invert, and then it just like becomes normal. That's
I
weird.
like that. It's almost like a portal into the normal world. Like, okay, well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird.
interesting.
Well, I'll bring this down here. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Oh, you also can't have it.
Maybe it's the way it activates on local
I see
user.
how it works. No, I see how it works. If you bring it close to the floor, you can see there's just like even if you're close to it, you can see that there's like normal
Yeah.
floor. So clearly, it's just a sort of lerp based on how close the local user is. Or oh, now it's broken. Wait. Is the other one still working?
I don't know what happened.
Nope. Oh, we broke it. Okay. That is okay. I can still dissect it to see what's going on. Ow, that hurt. Hold on. My controller's being a little funky. Hold on.
Someone has selected me.
All right. Let's see.
What is?
Well, I'm going to take this apart and see how it works.
Trying to turn off my controller and turn it back on again, see if that fixes anything. Okay, that's better.
Okay.
Oh, it's over there. Okay.
So basically, since I have some extra time, I'm going to work on
Grab this, bring it over here.
a couple things.
Okay.
I guess I should make this world look different first before I do perceptual state stuff.
Maybe.
So we're not going to need to worry about grid space much today.
Yeah, so essentially, this is a little weird, but it's finding the local user head slot and then getting the distance between the object and it, and then pretty sure it's just lerping the material on here. It's bound to be in here somewhere. Did I miss it? Wireframe material? Oh, because it's not on the object. Oh, nope, that isn't actually the right one. Is there another one? Yeah, there are 2 mesh renders. Okay, good. Yeah. So does this. If I get close,
I think that looks more like how it
Hmm.
should be.
I agree.
Because in the game it doesn't. I think the wings are not even necessary.
Nah, you don't have to if that's like an extra too much hassle, you know.
I'm not a model guy. Like I'm not really that much of a model guy.
Did you make it?
All right.
No, it's from an MMD. Yeah, there you go.
Do you want to keep looking at this?
Is it
I
from
edited
is it from the game?
I edited it like no, it's not.
Okay.
I don't think it's
don't know what happened
perfectly
there.
like it's. I don't think it's actually from the game.
I'm done.
Okay,
I
good.
think someone remade it, but I'm not entirely. They just
No,
said
I was
don't
also looking at
commercial
it,
use. I'm like okay.
But it was more
Okay,
like
I'll make sure to add that
like a
information to make sure it's no commercial
tidbit
use.
kind of thing. So I'm also interested in making games in here, so if you want to like
Oh,
do
yeah.
stuff together sometime, we can help each other out.
Cool.
All right, sounds cool. Yeah, I have experience in another game with building games and stuff.
But like
Usually
I
what do
edited
when
it
come to games
like
this,
quite
try
a
and
bit
stuff.
because like the weight bands were all messed up.
Mm.
So, if you
That's
want to,
frustrating for
like,
such a simpler model to have all the
like,
weight
measure
paintings
what
all
you're
messed
about,
up.
where you
That's
like,
frustrating.
you know,
Yes,
thing and then let it
like
fade out,
the
sort of
spine was controlling what the
If you want something like
Cool.
what the chest should have,
Never
and
tried
like
that.
the
I don't know how.
Oh, yeah,
a
did,
lot of the bones were like
That's
so
okay, I have an
messed up
idea.
as well. They were like all
let's go over here.
Oh,
not
man.
good.
Let's go
Not
and
good.
choose this spot.
So you fixed all that?
Basically.
Oh, that's brutal.
I basically remade the whole armature at this point.
Oh my gosh, man.
So I usually just start with an empty object. That's what I always like to do.
What did I do? Oh yeah, I need to make this in an actual avatar.
Essentially,
Let's see what I want to make this
start the effect
into.
first. I know we'll need this sort of material. So I guess
I'll get out of your way so I don't.
let's get a mesh render first. That'll be in
Yeah,
render.
and then-
don't worry about it
mesh
too much.
render.
Let's see what kind of
Pixel,
would be a good
let's
world
put
for
on a
perceptions that we
mesh
have in
the
here.
Selected material. Let's get a sphere mesh, which should be assets, procedural meshes.
And so,
Sphere mesh?
I'm just looking through a series of
Oh,
sets
down here. Yeah.
that I have used for different rainy days. So
Yeah, if you grab it, it'll get this example of what you're grabbing. Which
let's see how this
right
one
now is
looks.
a radius of 0.5, which is pretty big.
Uh,
So I'm just gonna set that to
too
like
much of a little diorama.
1.
We might be able to put all these little guys together though.
That's much better. More
'Cause they're so
reasonable for,
small.
Yeah, encompassing someone's face. We can always change that. So I'll grab this and then pull the trigger on mesh. And now it'll give us this. But we need the material for it. So let me.
Let's see.
Hmm.
I've been meaning to want to use these
It's
anyway.
easier if
So
we
let's
visualize
try
it by just making another object because you
couple
can go
things.
Through, create new object materials. And
thinking
then
right now
you can just make
if these
whatever
things feel
fit
interesting
your-
when you're in them or near
what
them
would be the best for
to make it
this.
so as you go into each doorway
If
it becomes a
it's
portal
just blocking everything
and the
out, then
portal would
fine,
take
it's
you
just
to
like
a
an
different
unlit.
perceptual state.
Doesn't have to be a filter or
That might be
anything fancy.
might be fun.
Because unlit is just like always a specific color. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
have to worry
So
about
let's
lighting
see.
or Z fighting or whatever the terms are. So we can just make it black.
Oh wow, this is a little too big.
Cool. And then one trick we need for this is to render it have the sidedness thing.
And
right here
so
is
I'll
always
just
on auto, but if we
use
set to back, then
fellow
if you
tooltip.
can see kind of like yeah, so like if you look on the inside, then it's visible on the inside, but like technically you can't see it on the outside. Yeah. So like you can have that weird effect when you put something inside, you expect it to like disappear, but it actually disappears when you go farther. Yeah. That's how we know it's working. So I like to we can just get rid of this. I like to make sure all of my things are together on the same thing so that when I import it into something else, like a different world, it doesn't break on me, which unfortunately with my camera that's totally what happened. I thought I was careful about it, but I accidentally packed things into the world
Wait, what?
instead of on the object, and then I don't know how to fix it. So that's my problem.
What the hell?
That's okay, we got that on there. Essentially what we just had.
There,
Set the
let's-
sidedness back.
What did I just...
Okay, cool. Okay, then I forget. Does this have a transparent setting? Oh, that's right. That's why I wanted. Oh, blend mode. Oh yeah. Yeah, we could just do this. Okay, cool.
Fine.
So these things have blend modes, and
I'm just gonna
that
grab it.
essentially, like if you've played
No,
Photoshop
no more
before, it's
nonsense.
kind of like how the colors calculate with each other. So I put it on multiply, and that essentially means like it'll like multiply the numbers together, which makes sense when you have it explained like that. But the effect is a little different because it's kind of like for example, I have it on white, and now we can't see it.
I don't know.
Means
I don't.
It's taking
Not feeling
the
this
tint color
area.
and it's
not gonna
multiplying
translate well.
the
It's
numbers of like the colors
not that interesting.
by one, which
Okay.
when you multiply by one, it's just the same number. But if you have it at 0, then it's all 0, and then you get nothing or black, I guess. So then, like if you do something in between, it gets a little weird.
So we're gonna
it's
go
great for
back
filters,
to.
But thanks for that. What we essentially need is like the ability for it to fade out, which I think manipulating this will be a good move. So let's leave it at that. I will name this object really quick, just for reasons. Feed sphere. That's a good name.
Oh, perfect. Alright.
Cool. And then I make a child because we need something to parent the logics to, or packet. It's just kind of good logics etiquette. That's the word I'm looking for. Have that set aside. Then let's see. How do we start? Well,
Let's see which
we start with
room.
just like being able to lurk between white and black, which if we go into input and get a color.
This one's a little too much.
And then I'll make another one, just make it all ones. So this represents just like RGBA, which A is the alpha, which isn't actually affecting what we're doing here. So we can just set them both as 1. So we can go between complete black to faded out, no effect whatsoever. Damn it. Anyway, let's see. I know there's, if I go to math, there's a lerp function, which essentially...
Yeah, there's none of these I want to use. We'll go to
Thank you.
the rooms.
Essentially, like, based on a value, it'll...
No,
0
not
to
the
1,
classroom
it'll
one.
go between this one to another one, just kind of, like, determine what's in between for us.
Yeah.
So, there's from and to. It'll change that for us. Let's just
Not
get an
this classroom
example of what's
either.
going on. If I put this to 0.1, it makes everything 0.1, because
All right.
we're not doing anything fancy. It's just from 0 to whatever, so it's very easy to control what that's going to be. So what I want to do
We'll go over
is
here.
have this directly drive the color of that.
And
so I'm gonna put that away,
rooms.
go back to what we're doing here. Get the unlit material. I'll grab this and then hit my secondary. Then I get the logics interface. And what we want is the tint.
Nah,
color,
not
which
this
I guess
one.
is this one right here. if I put this, just gonna slap that in
Okay,
there.
well, darn it.
Then we get
I had one that I
this.
really
Nothing's
enjoyed.
changed, obviously, but if I, yeah, keyboard. Cool. Great. So it has the effect we want.
Hmm.
Cool. Good
Darn
stuff.
it. All right, it's time to do some modular stuff.
Now what? We wanted to have on an on effect. So like, tell you what. In context of the game, I figure it's like
So I'm gonna.
when the player gets shot, it'll have the effect.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check
So,
out.
that's
Yeah, I have a
like-
video
that's kind
download
of
thing
how
too.
We can,
I'll have to check out Pexels.
fire in a sense. So,
Let's see if I want to use Kenny's
I
stuff or
figured you
not.
can, for like compatibility with that, we can just have something where you, with your methods in your game, you're able to detect when a player is already shot, and you're going to need that sort of logic anyway. So, in
Gotcha.
addition to
Yeah.
that, we can.
Did you ever have this
you can probably
issue
just, like,
where if you wanted to
spawn
like
one of
create a
these
character
on,
like an
like,
avatar with
like if you do
an
like a
avatar
custom,
creator
like you get the
tool,
user, you can just
when you
spawn one
click
of the
create,
local
I
on
just
that
like
user's
I just
head,
disappear whenever I
and
do it.
then
What? No, I've
if
never
you
had that.
go, if
Like,
you spawn it,
come
you
look,
have an
come
event.
look.
I just went into flow, and then the events tab. There's on
Here.
loaded, I think. Or
You want me to
on-
click
This
it?
looks fine, right?
So you want me to click it?
I mean, you can try, yeah.
I know. I usually do unactivated.
Oh, weird.
What's this? Only host.
I just killed
Why
you.
me? What?
Oh, what the heck?
What? Like, I've done this like 3 times now, and it does it every time.
Can you do it in like save this and put it in another world and see if
And
it's?
then in logic space, you duplicate the.
That
object.
is really weird.
Why does that destroy me?
I've never seen that ever happen before.
I know, same.
I would suggest
I'll go do this in my local real quick.
weird.
I'll come back with it.
Okay.
Really quick.
Oh man.
Ouch. My frames. I don't know why it does that. But if I.
All right, we're gonna test out.
This is the ghetto way to parent things or pack things. So you just kind of like. Did that even work? It did. Okay. Wait. Nope. It didn't. Everybody, hold up. I missed. Yeah. If I don't want to pack the whole thing, I'll just. Okay, it worked. Great. So as
Good.
long as
So this is
this does the
ground.
thing, I'm gonna pull out.
We're gonna
an
put all the
arrow
rest of these have that too.
so we can view this.
I'm gonna give all the rest of these this tag, and then we're gonna
let's
try
do it
out
all on false and see what happens. So,
snapping tool.
Nope, I missed. My hands are very shaky. There we go. Okay, so now it's gone. And then if I
That's
want to
interesting,
do it-
Draconis.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So on activate does it. It did it 3 times because I have this bool. It says only host. So
Oh.
if it's on false, then it'll do it for multiple users. So like it says the last one was from DJ Nightmares, which I guess is someone in here, which isn't important. But if I set it to true and then do it again, you should only see it happen once. Yeah, perfect. So generally, for our purposes, on only host is going to be good. So we have our event for when this starts. Let's see.
There we go. Now we add in these
I know.
nature kit things.
Let's move that over there for now, and let's go to. I have an idea. I used this node for the camera. There's, I think it's an input for some reason, and then stopwatch. Great.
All right.
Stopwatch is good for determining an amount of time based on like a certain point in time. You know how
Now
a
I'm going to
stopwatch
just
works.
make
There's a
this
lot of stuff
bigger.
going on, though. There's start, and then there's I think reset. No, there's stop, and then there's reset. Yeah, so this one
There we
right
go.
here will show how much time has passed. So if I start it, it'll start.
So I'll
And
mess
it'll
around
wait
with
for a
these
second.
different
So then
little.
if I stop it, it'll stop, and you can start it again. From
See how
that
good these snap
point, and,
to each
if
other.
I start it a whole bunch of times, nothing happens. But if I hit reset, then it resets it, but it also keeps going. So you have to stop it and then reset it if you want to do that. There's also, all these are just like things for like on start, on stop, and then on reset. So like if I do this, then it'll, you know, it's just for managing whatever's going on. So you could, if you wanted to, like on start or like on stop, I think, just like route it into itself. So then every time you stop it, it'll also reset it. So that's fun. Yeah. There's also the bool determines if it's running or not, which is nice. Just for if you want to do logic based on whether it's started or stopped or not. Things of that nature. So this will be useful for us. Do that. Okay. So
Where
we
is
have our
that?
event, which I figure we
Wrong
can do
thing.
this on start. So when it's
This is
activated,
a
it'll
snapping
start this,
tip
and luckily, it starts at 0, so we can take that into account for our lerp, which actually means we should route these back around so it'll start
What the heck?
not visible. Know what I'm saying?
So there we
And
are. There's the
then
snapping
As
tip.
time progresses, it'll go
So let's
black.
give this a try.
But right now, just 1 second is pretty long, so we want to be able to control that with our
Oh, crap.
variables because we're very smart people. So I'm gonna go to operations and get, I don't know, something simple, just a multiply node. You know, move these out of the way so I can make some room for my spaghetti. Let's kind of route this into this, and we'll just set it at 1 for now. View.
Let's see.
So, as you can expect, oh, here, hold on. So we activate, and as you can expect, it goes up by a certain amount. But if I have
Let's
like
see.
0.2 in here, it'll go by 5 times.
Oh yeah, I have to select the menu this way.
Which is
There, 1 meter. Let's make this.
I have to reset it. Nope. that was not the
0.1
right one.
meter.
There we go. Great.
See how well these.
So 5 seconds for the full cycle
Snap
is
to each
pretty
other.
slow. Let's see. I could try. We just, you know, since we have a variable here, essentially
try
we can
that.
just do what feels good. We can just try 0.8 for now, and then I'll
Hit something
this.
secondary. Okay.
And I'm not too sure.
So let's see.
I'm actually not so sure
So,
what happens if I lerp beyond
that
1.
rotates
so let me
it.
see real quick. Okay, good. Nothing bad happens. That's what I expected.
Okay.
I didn't think it would, like, you know, go beyond or anything. If there's
Let's
a way
try
to do, like, lerp stuff
making
where,
this
like,
closer.
if a sign adds more, it becomes a multi-level lerp.
Secondary.
But we don't
Grip
need
secondary.
that since it's just between two
There we
things.
are.
But that'll essentially mean, like,
Let's see.
for
Grab
example,
this secondary.
let's make this, like,
See if I can do this.
red. Very obviously red. So,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Let's
hold on,
shoot
that
this with
There.
8.5 meters.
It'll lerp from like 0 to 1 to 2, and that determines where it's lerping. So like it'll go from clear to black, and then it'll go to red.
Okay.
See?
And then
Yeah. So it's good for like multiple points in space, or just like multiple lerping things. If you just have like a lot of things you need to get to, but
And then-
you just hit the minus if you don't need that. And then just like, you know, between 2 points from 0 to 1. Very simple for what we're doing here.
how do I move this? Let's move it.
Yeah.
I
I figured
think it's either user error or
Hmm.
I'm a little
also
wonky with
have,
this.
like after this
Okay,
we
so
know we
it's a
want
secondary grip.
the thing to go away.
Okay.
So we don't want it to
Grab
just
secondary.
fully exist, so we want it to be
Secondary
able to
only.
delete itself.
Secondary twice.
Which
Grip secondary.
That's always, you know, you want to be careful with that when you pull out the destroy
That
slot.
makes another one.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna hook that up to
so-
anything yet. So
That's
I
pretty near
figure
the
we can also
ground.
do it based on the stopwatch, since that's just logical. we have.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with this a lot
There's
more.
a fire on
Um,
true node, which just sends an impulse.
So otherwise, we'll
pointing
just
through.
get rid of these
I'll explain a
computers
little
for
bit
now.
about that. There's two slots. There's the Boolean that, determines, like if I said true, it will just ping once, If I set it to false, nothing happens.
And
that's
so what
useful
we'll
for
do
what
is
we're about to do. Because I figure we can also just use this
see
as
some of these pathways.
a time, based on how long it has been perfectly, completely black, and then just fire it and then destroy itself. And you can probably just teleport the player to a respawn point or something while it's all black. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really see the transition or something like that. You could also, if you really wanted to, have it fade back out to white, like nothing. Yeah. Or you can just jarringly destroy it. Let's actually set that up. Tell you what, I have an idea. So I can actually just rewire this into that. So then if I run it, it'll go to black and then go to clear. Great. Stop that. Shut it. Okay. So we can do that. I'll tell you what I'll actually do. If this... Yeah. Let's go to operations, or operators, because this is where all of our if statements are, as I like to think of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's clean up the mess. I might use
Try
a
not to
different one of
Try not
these.
to do perfect equals with floats, because, floats aren't completely... they can be weird sometimes, and I don't want any floating point errors to just let it, slide past, which I don't think that happens, but that's fine. For what we're doing here, it's not particularly bad.
So
we
this
can,
let's see what other modular goodies we have going on.
progresses, we can just determine a stopping point, which I think at 1 it would be good, because then it stops at perfectly black. And then we can fire on true. And there's a user thing here that's similar to what we're doing over here, where it's this one
Let's
only fires
see
on
what
host,
we wanna
but this
do.
one is a host user, or just a user to fire it on. And it's always just good to you go into the users thing down here and you go to host user and you just hook that up. And that guarantees it only ever fires once. Very useful for games and stuff. But also local user would be, if we're working with other things, I guess. I don't know. For right now, it should work. Let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah. Let's just test to see if.
Let's use Kenny's this time.
Okay.
We will use
So
Kenny's.
1, it pulses, which is cool. Let's stop that and restart it. Let me actually do the rewire thing so that I don't have to hit buttons again. What did I do? Why is it over there? Wait. My node. Who stole my node?
All right. We will use this one.
Well, I have my node now. I'm gonna go over here.
And I'll start building an area, and then we'll move some of that to spawn point later.
Where's the sphere?
So let's see. I think it'd be
it's
best
here right now, I
to.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, but is it over there?
it is.
It's this
Dummy.
one.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I don't have a grabbable on it. Hold on. Let me put a grabbable on
So
it.
we'll both put these here,
That's not it.
these two, and then think it through. Which do we want to start off in a little bit of wooded area?
Okay, there's a grabbable on it. Can you grab it? Gosh darn it. Wait.
I think we should have it to where each thing you go to, it's like a special rock
because I don't have a
formation.
collider on it either. Dang it.
Yeah, it should start off with stuff like this.
Colliders, please. sphere collider. Hold on, guys. That's gonna be really big. Wait, one. Okay, I think it's grabbable now. Oh, thanks, man. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's a good spot for it. Okay, good. Nope. Okay, good. Yes, we have our sphere back. Well, okay.
All right, let's see what we want.
Give me my... Okay. You know, I know why this happened. It's because I parented just this to the sphere, so we moved it and it went over there. Okay.
Interesting.
Where was I?
That's no good.
Fire on true, right. I want to have this, let me get just something to clean up. There's, in just like the standard thing, there's something called an impulse relay, which basically just like relays things.
They do a little bit of a
It's good
backup.
for cleaning stuff up, for your wires and stuff, so I like to, I'll just go upside down, wrap it around,
There we go.
and then just bring it over here, where we can momentarily stop the stopwatch, so it'll stop on black. Cool.
Okay.
So then we can wait a certain amount of time for the effect, just to, you know, let the things do their thing as you want in the game, like teleport the player or whatever, and then or maybe like spawn waiting, like wait times or something, whatever you feel like. Then we can actually inflow. We have a delay, which is useful.
How big do we want this to be?
Wait, that's right. I need a sequence where we can do one thing and then also do another thing. So I'll do this one first. This doesn't really matter all that much, the sequence of your sequence things, unless doing something really specific, of course. I think this works in
Alright.
seconds.
We want this to be a large pool.
So the top one does the actual delayed impulse, but there's also one that just says, like, ignore the delay. So
Okay.
let's try that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then 1 second later it does the other one. Cool. So then
Yeah, we should see how
we
big we want a
can,
waterfall
in
place to
sense,
be.
have it stay on
Yeah.
black for a bit, and then we can continue the stopwatch.
So right now, just figuring out the proportions of these modular pieces that would feel right,
It's gonna look really
and then
janky.
from there I'll start making
It's gonna
something.
work.
So let's see. This piece would be nice.
I'm usually more clean than this, but now if I let me reset it.
And then if I'm here,
Great.
it's really basic, but that's not
Just
bad.
stay
Let's
for a bit.
put a couple more of these on here just to see.
Okay, so it is working
And
as intended.
then,
So then now we have two variables. One is the speed at which this transpires. We want this to stay at 1, and then the delay for how long it stays black, which is good. Having control is good. Now we can, once it completely turns clear, we can just delete it. So that would mean when this variable becomes 2, because that's when it
how's that
reaches
feel?
the next one. So what I can do would be
Should the
another
waterway be that big? What
condition.
else?
The operator.
The waterway feels fine
Take
here.
another grid. No, I can
Let's
just
see what else
do
there would
that.
be. That would be similar.
Great.
An object
then
size that we want to take in
Get another relay
consideration.
real quick. This was just a standard relay where it'll bring any value that isn't an impulse.
Let's bring one of these at the same
So I can clean that up.
height and
So
size.
if this is greater than or equal to, this time it's going to be 2, because that's our next value. From 0 to 1 to 2. So then once that happens, we can get another fire on true.
That feels about right. This is it. 9 by 9. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is
hook that up to that, and then
use this as our
again,
base,
I'm not gonna hire.
and
I'm
then
not
we're
gonna
going to find a
do that
scale.
real quick. I'm going to.
Let's find a scale base for all these.
There are some other options here. There's preserve assets, and there's send destroying event. Preserve assets essentially means, like for example, on this object we have like we have textures and we have model. There's a sphere model and the sphere collider and like the texture that's on it. If we wanted preserve assets to be true, then that would keep those
Hey,
things
Electrospy.
as, like,
Hello.
in the world.
How's it going?
It's useful if they are referencing
pretty good.
other things. Like, for example,
We're working
I have
on
this,
perception today, so we're
have this
trying to make
domain
things
where
that
it's
like mess with
a
people's
drawing
perception,
tool,
whether it could be a nice
and
meditative state, could be something that's
the user
trippy.
has the option to
You could even be a
create sort
goose
of
over there, like
like
being dismaking.
based on like the colors available.
Oh
and
no,
the
it's here.
color
Yeah, I know, right?
is saved into that swatch. The swatch is like a
Uh-oh.
No, no, it's here.
The player also, like when player users, they can just like take from the swatch and then they can use it. But really
No, no.
the material is obviously gone, and whatever they have on the
Oh no. So what crazy thing have you been doing lately?
The update of the conversion tool is finally out, and I broke it like the first day the update came out, so he had to fix it another day.
Nice.
But now it's more or less working. I got a test chamber for Lewis imported.
Nice.
Takes from this as it exists, it just, like references itself.
So yeah, he can work on his level.
I think default defaults. So we don't
No.
like trying to be careful. Just like set these
That wasn't me though.
specifically because where the
It's getting sentient.
Wink, 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 wink.
Sentient.
Probable Prime has a video on these.
Is it done now? Is this
destroying event? There's also
Well,
the
the model is.
destroy event, which is
Oh
different.
my goodness.
I'm just gonna
because
make something for it,
I think the way
which
you
I
explained it,
can't
yeah, this
reveal
one
yet because
obviously
I'm
has
not
the
sure if
same,
I'm gonna do it
only
properly or
post bool
I don't
as are
even know how.
unactivated,
so.
but this one doesn't.
There we are.
And essentially, I
Yes.
think, like when you grab something and you have like the destroy option.
Do you want some bread?
If you secondary is what do you think about the honking sound? Is it like loud for you?
No, it sounds the right volume for me.
Destroy aim.
Uh-oh, yeah,
Okay,
I'm a
cool,
very
'cause
tasty treat. Oh no.
The,
Visual
the
glitches.
reason
Is,
the reason why I ask is because whenever I make something and there's like audio going inside someone's head,
Yeah?
people are like, "Oh, this is ear rape," and I'm like, "What? No."
Yeah, it's not this hype.
Okay. What about how you activate the honking? I've just set it on secondary for.
Well, for me, secondary
prefer
is,
another?
let's see, I don't know what would be best for another because
Because I know for Vive I've changed it. I can do this. I can do so for other controllers if I need to.
yeah, for Oculus, if you're in secondary, you'll jump.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's same as 5 then.
Oh, okay.
What other buttons would you?
I don't know, what do people normally use for gestures that don't cause any issue?
The only things we need to worry about is
Hmm.
the distance.
Depends on the controller. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
for
what I'm
the index
saying.
is more or
For
less
Oculus-
obvious because you can just use the touchpad.
Yeah, secondary for Index is like no problem.
Then I can hook
Right.
up the
What about like a grip trigger? Maybe a grip trigger combination?
And since it gives us a little
Grip and
reference, we don't
trigger?
actually need this card anymore.
Because then you wouldn't,
And then I
like you
can-
hold down
Just
grip,
in
then
one
press
hand?
trigger. Yeah, maybe right grip trigger.
Before I hook it up, just
Doesn't
for,
sound too bad.
you know, reasons.
Nice.
I'm going to grab the logics and then set my packing route.
Oh, what have we done? What have we done?
And now,
I'll change it for like for
Okay.
the.
because I didn't hook it up, that's okay. Okay, so now everything's parented to this. I can safely.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
I'll-
there's a person named Joris.
I'll unpack it and then I'll duplicate
did
it,
you-
Oh, it's Kenny.
because I
Yeah,
can't
it's Kenny
see
stuff.
what it is right now.
I think I'm going to resize all these and make them a 9x9 square in here, so I'll probably parent it and then just resize them all,
Mhm.
and then just snap them together. I was given a snap tool, but I'm gonna need to tinker with it more before I'm really adept at using it. But yeah, this would be nice.
A low poly modular level stuff.
Yeah, this world really doesn't need to have it. I just thought we don't really need grid space for a perceptual world. That ideally it'll be some kind of space that people are in, and then when they walk to a place on the path, it'll be a little section where it'll be a perceptual state. So like you walk in to one area and maybe it's a cave, and then now you're in the chill out room that it warps you into an entirely different place or stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's the thought, but we'll see. And I thought I'd use something modular just that way. I'm not building it from scratch, and can play around and show off someone else's modular pack and how it works. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Feel free if you.
Actually, yeah, just thinking about something. I mean, you could make it so each and every time someone is looking away, have the tree change its shape.
Absolutely. I like that. I was hoping. I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I didn't mention to him. It's kind of like the sightline chair experience where you keep turning your head and things change and gives you that disorientation. That would be really fun. It could really mess with people's sense of stability. That would be fun. Yeah, there's a guy, Joris, that was working on blend shapes. He had a head that has blend shapes in it. But for some reason, when he used the head hands avatar, it didn't match up the visemes. And I thought you'd probably know better than anyone why that would be the case or not.
Oh God.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not asking you to do. I'm not asking you to do anything for him. But I just figured you might say, "Oh yeah, it's blah blah blah." That's why. That's all. Not any type of homework assignment for sure.
It could be a naming issue.
So if you think it was the correct names, it would just work.
And that is also why I made another one.
I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, it should be.
Okay.
I mean, the way I do it is basically just follow like the thing from VRC because the name scheme is the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there's actually no issues if you bring in like the exact same name scheme as VRC avatars.
Have you ever done it where it was just a head's hand avatar where you just had a head and you just put in the head and it was able to recognize the visemes?
I don't know why that.
I mean, it's actually a good question. I'm actually not sure.
I'm gonna leave that unhooked just for...
I mean, I don't know why it shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know.
But then on the other hand, I don't know what the automatic sign up thing is doing in the background. So.
Spawn this object and parent it to people's faces, which is a great idea.
Yeah, I thought that if you did know what it was doing in the background, but don't worry about it. You've done so much weird conversion stuff.
Just like as an example, I'm gonna.
But then again, a lot of those wouldn't have wouldn't have the normal visemes anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You just need like a sending event to like prove the concept.
So did you add to your list, or is it finally like a little bit less? Oh, that's fun.
Thanks to Lewis. This one is also on the list.
Oh my gosh. I like the fact there's no head. That's actually really fun.
It's standard procedure.
Is there supposed to be a head right now?
There's a version of the model which has a head. As you can see, I don't know what the people were thinking. They're literally shrunk down the neck. If you take a look, you can see also the stretching of the textures.
Yeah. Looks like the weight painting looks decent. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. There's some broken pieces on the chest. So this is literally me having like the overlay in VR and trying with VR controls to use Blender.
Oh my god, that's nuts! What? Why would you do that?
Because I wanted to listen to Lucas while he was working on the map.
Okay.
Oh, fair enough.
And then
where is it?
Did it work? It did. Great.
Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe it's this one. There we are.
I do want to hook this up now. But before I do that, I'm going to have a more controlled environment. Yeah. Wait, let's stop this and reset it. Okay. Yeah, you gotta make sure it starts at 0.
Oh no.
We'll remember that.
I need to back this up.
Get rid of these pulses and this pulse.
Or-
And
Give me a
now,
second.
now that there's safely no way that we can kill it, I'm going to hook that up.
All
What I wanna
right.
do is
Did you add anything else to it?
starting so in there is a dynamic. There are these things called dynamic input.
Oh, just some small particle effects. The speakers are also set up, but there's no direct interface right now to interact with them.
So you can send it out.
The seats are usable
We
now.
just need the vent. So what we want is the receiver to be on.
Yeah, I don't have hands, so it doesn't look nice when I
and
push
we
it.
can just say we can give it a tag.
Nice.
It can be really anything, but you know, it makes sense. So I guess we can do fade event.
As always, making really intricate things and then adding to the list. Someone's like, "Hey, by the way, can you just help me?" And you're like,
Yes.
And next thing you know,
which we will keep with our
list added.
here.
Yeah.
So I just want to.
But yeah, a lot of people have already seen the tram. It has been a lot of sessions just for me to work on that.
I'm going to parent.
Whew.
And now Lewis is also using it for the map he is making for like the outro.
And we won't ever need it again,
Nice.
unless we want to change numbers.
So it at least seems to be getting some use out of it right now, even though my map isn't completely converted.
And I will also close this.
Okay, do I actually go now into Blender and fix my version of the map?
Depends what
the
you want to do
test
today.
chamber. The test chamber is done. It's almost around 10 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just did something redundant. Let's unpack that.
It's funny. It's one of those. Do you do it or not? Like, is you do get in that mess that you decide that like it's. I don't know if you're like me. You're like, okay, well, I'll get started. Next thing you know, 4 or 5 hours later, you're like, well, there goes my life. Not in a bad way, but just.
You're totally right. That's definitely one of the things I need to look out for. And home office doesn't help with that.
That's for sure. Yeah, you can work anytime you want, kind of.
But it's actually funny. From Kenny, I did took like the smoke particles for like the air conditioner.
Oh, does he have a good particle effects pack?
He has a small spreadsheet of particles. I did take some of them.
I should be careful though. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm going to
Nuts.
only activate this once. Okay. Now I will never touch.
I guess
the
all
buttons.
of these use the same texture atlas.
If I activate the
I hope so. If they don't, that'll make me want to cry.
You know, that's probably why I would.
it's all poly.
Dynamic thing.
And I would,
Yeah.
I would think Kenny does a really good job in optimizing. So
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
I haven't used his assets tons. I've used a lot of Quaternius stuff.
No impending doom here. Let's just get on
Let's
with. I
see.
want the collider now. Let's move this over here. I want the collider, which I know how to make.
Medra,
Yes.
Another
could I ask you a little favor?
Sure, what's up?
Yes. Could you see
Yeah.
if it like is good now?
Yeah, I can be a goose.
So
Any-
I did it
anytime.
like you.
Attach component. It's gonna
All right.
take a second.
I made it
Gotta get in walk mode.
the
Oh.
trigger like you said it, with trigger and
This
grip.
purple
All
area
right.
is gonna be what we want.
Does it work?
Yeah, it does. Oh, that's a lot more.
Nice.
That's a lot easier to use too, because then I can go like.
The values of the rather.
And you can do it with both, like with either of your hands. I think.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, you can.
Something fancy.
Okay.
Oh no, I need to undo that. Oh, there.
What did you do?
Oh, there's a collider on this.
Tall, I guess.
I need to grab. Where's my body?
I'm
Where's my other body at? There it is.
Wait.
So since we want this to be a
Wait,
trigger,
what is
the collider,
happening to
we
your
can
feet?
Set the type to be trigger,
Come here, you.
so it'll send
Get
events.
on my hand.
Let's move
Get-
this up.
Come on. It is kind of hard to.
Just stand on it and then it'll
Sure. That-
trigger something.
Is it? Can you grab
So now
tools easy? I'm having a hard time.
we have all the pieces we want.
Wait, you can't grab
We
tools?
can
Let's see. I'm going to grip
pick one more
and then
side
pulling it back, and
quickly.
let's try this with something else maybe.
Then I will
Oh.
name this one logic.
Oh. What?
this looks about right.
Let's try that. Now let's
Um,
jump into this and see what
How
happens.
did this happen?
I don't know.
Building.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I can't change my locomotion. No. No. Crap.
Players instead of users earlier.
Yeah, so you can't use trigger in this right now.
Yeah. It's just a mentality.
Oh, what the heck?
But that's okay.
You currently can't use trigger.
We start with this, but we actually end with that.
That's what it is. It's the trigger is you can use it for the weird. Okay. I tried to use it for the radio menu, and for some reason it's not working with the radio menu. Try that out and see if you're having the same problem, Bean.
Get the card for it. Luckily for us, there is in the nodes. Oh, you're good. In the nodes.
Are you having that problem too? Can you? What? Weird. I'm trying, and I can't.
Nope. It was. Nope. Yep.
It's working for me.
Weird. It's not working for me.
On collision start. They have 3 different ones. There's on collision end and on collision stay, which. As you can kind of.
Weird. I don't know.
Fun.
Well, crap. Yeah, I can't change my locomotion or reset scale or anything.
There's actually a little trick.
Oh god.
You can either, when something gets a reference, you can either hook it up to the same reference, or you can hook it up to the card itself, and then you get 2 references. Just like 1 arrow, because it makes me feel cool about it.
Mama.
It can actually be much more efficient and easier to read.
Hi, Admiral Soap.
Maybe it's because of the inspector that's behind you or something. I don't know.
Oh, let me try that. Yeah, let me turn it
Why is
off.
there?
Here, I had it following me. Let's see, maybe that's it. No, it's not doing anything.
You can kind of guess what
So
Should
maybe
I bring it back? Or...
So maybe you think it has something to do with the way you have the triggers set up? Maybe that it doesn't. I don't know. Do you have the old version? Let me see if the old version works. And see if it's related to
I
that.
do have the old
Then when
version.
I exit, it fires this one. It's like you see the
Oh, wait a second.
here,
Wait, this isn't your fault.
here,
Oh
a
no,
bunch here.
my avatar. I can't do it now. Nope, it's nothing to do with yours.
Since we're just looking
Wait,
for
what?
like a Boolean type.
Weird. What kind of glitch is this?
Oh.
I think of this as like representative of the event of getting shot.
There we are.
It's just
Now I'm
kind of
normal.
like-
Okay, it's nothing to do with this. I was broken somehow. Let's see.
Two geese conversing.
Yeah, it works now. I can fly.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh my
Double goose.
Do this.
Like-
So we need.
No, I
Yeah.
can't do it because the
Geese
controls
streaming
are
around
different.
is
This is
great. I love it.
all the annoyance of geese now brought to VR.
This will give us.
Oh, it's so cute.
Aww. There's like
That's
a
less cute now.
we need
Much less cute.
user.
Escape from-
Nice.
Because this is a component, this is the collider component that's colliding with our trigger. We
Yeah,
need
so we're working on perception today, Emerald Soap. So yeah, feel free if you're interested.
something that doesn't
There's a lot of different ways to approach it. You could have like a meditative room, something that kind of induces a meditative state. It could be something that is kind of
Since we have a
brings you into like a trippy state of mind. Like I don't know if you've ever tried the Neos mushrooms or stuff like that. Or it could be something that's completely different altogether, like
I'm glad you're
perspective of a goose.
And then
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to approach it.
Oh god.
yeah,
There's no.
So great.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so these colors are different. There's a difference between the user.
Oh, can you spawn another one of those in, Bean?
There's a lot of.
Can you make another copy of one of those?
Maybe it's in slots.
Yeah.
There we go.
Get user root. Root slot. No. Root slot is
What?
Rip and honk.
Someone needs to take a screenshot of this. I can't, so I
Here,
can
I got
see
you.
it as well.
We need to bring in a mirror too in this world.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, making a special mirror that you look different inside it. That's a good idea too.
Like extra thin or like extra small.
Yeah.
I mean,
something
you can change the
like
normal map
warped
that
mirrors.
actually does do deforming.
Yeah,
I
like
need to
warp
get rid of-
mirrors, like those mirror palace thingies.
Let me get one from a side angle there. Oh, put your hands inside. Put your hands inside the body so you don't see the little things.
Like that?
Further in, like inside further.
Like that?
Yep.
That's what she said.
There we go. No, that's not the other one. We got a better angle. It's still loading in. There we are. Oh no, my spoon's in the shot. Darn it. I hate when that happens.
God dang it.
I mean, you're trying to get food and the food is protecting itself, so.
Yeah. I want to get a close up on this though. One more.
Way too many avatars had already used this helmet.
Just start a subreddit where people can post their pictures with this helmet.
There you go. That's it. That's the angle. Don't delete them. Keep them out here. We'll keep them for the jams.
And the new parent. So the instance that we want
Yep.
printed is the
You thought I was
This
Doom
rule
guy?
which
No,
is
I'm
preserve
a
global
goose.
positions.
Doom Goose.
Matter.
Doom Goose.
So yeah,
We
I'm thinking about using this modular pack, and then what we'll do is put a bunch of them together and make it so if someone walks on a path, they go to different perceptual areas, and so it's kind of like you're rewarded for each one. You go and it'd be kind of the same idea as if you're walking on a path and there's a room, except we're just going to use this environment as like an outdoors environment. So I'm working on getting the proportions right. I think I'm using this as and it's going to be a 9x9 square. And once I do that, I'll probably delete all these, open it back up again with all of them together instead of messed up like this, and then parent it, change the parent size to match, and then we'll be good.
And it should just be at 0, for its
Hmm.
parent.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have to set the global
That's-
position.
The first thing that came into my mind when you said like kind of like a room sort of thing reminded me of like IKEA.
Oh, totally. That's an interesting idea. That's a better idea.
So just kind of changing maybe.
Well, then we shouldn't use this as unless we're making an outdoor IKEA.
It could be like it could technically be like a box, and then there's like so-called like fake skyboxes, which are just walls, and when you go through it, it'll just change dramatically. It'll like you go from a spring place to a desert place to a
Totally.
mountain place.
That's possible. That's very possible.
Because
funny.
like there's like a forest area, trees. There could be a temple.
Well, then we wouldn't even worry about making these snappable because it would just whatever sizing difference, and then it would just be a matter of just building little pieces together, and that would be just the room idea all over again. Except we wouldn't even use the modular snapping. That works for me. That I like that better. That usually works out a lot better in general because then anyone can contribute more quickly instead of having something they're building from it. So yeah, heck yeah, we can do that instead. I like the idea of using the fake skyboxes. That's interesting. That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like making it look like it's actually like a thick world. Kind of like how like how Portal does it. Like it's like it looks like a massive outdoor world, but actually just a bunch of LED screens.
Yep.
Whether we set it to be active or deactive. So like false is
And there's bushes and everything.
Well, I'll be back in just a second. Feel free to mess around if you want to mess with that stuff. You're welcome to it. Feel free.
Yeah, I'm just looking around. Let's see.
This isn't your first time at a jam, though. I think I've seen you before, right?
I've been around. I haven't been to a jam before. Turek was inviting me like ages ago, but I was occupied.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, what we do is we build out a world based on a theme, and then we share it open source style and credit everyone.
Sounds good.
And so anyone can contribute. People can hang out if they want. It's up to them.
So is Is this modular packet list somewhere in a public folder or?
It's this one's under the Patreon CJ thing, but
Yeah.
what I'll eventually do with some stuff like that is if we use it in this
Mm.
world, I'll just add it to the Creator Jam public. And so
Okay, sounds good.
here I can make it a public one to use here. That one is the nature
Yeah.
pack.
No, it is not. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I like the low poly style of all the items.
But there is a bunch of that stuff already, like not Kenny's stuff, but Quaternius's in the
Mhm.
Creator Jam public folder.
I messed it up.
So let's see, it's Nature Kit
Um,
1.0.
I'm actually gonna see if I have the
There you
Creative
go.
Jam public folder.
There's one over there too.
Okay.
Nature 1.0.
So one thing that's been pointed out to me, I think, is
Let's
that
put this in
these only
here.
only output anything
And then
like
the
one
Creator Jam
so
public
you
one.
can't see-
And then this is the share stuff for today. I would,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
you can grab one right here.
This is on collision start. That's right.
Creative Jam
so that
public.
wouldn't be
Yep.
showing me anything. Okay. So yeah, you're
You
right.
could put it
There we go.
with collision stakes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually working.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. Let's
Mhm.
actually let's disconnect that for now so that we don't break anything anymore. Don't
Hmm.
even know it's. There could have been 1,000 things attached to my head right
Yeah,
now.
looking at my
But-
inventory right now, and I did import
That's
a new
as long as I can
version
see them
of
now.
the Black Mesa test
Um,
chamber for Lewis.
Let us
Nice.
do
And oh, by the way,
on collision stay
did
and see
the
what's
did the suit work?
Hey Shifty, how's it going?
HAV.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, it actually was the fault of how Ruiz world is made because of the
Okay.
automatic assignment of assets. Because all the assets I spawn are parented to me.
And then
Yeah.
working on perception today, so it's kind of a broad topic that can cover all kinds of areas from being a little goose.
Oh yeah, because yeah, you respawn and then you at the same time. Right? So there's one
to making some kind of thing that's kind of trippy or meditative.
This version, I'm actually gonna export it
Or a
with
goose.
the gun head attached. But
Yep.
Make it so it's disabled.
Where am I at?
Because
Oh no.
because
There.
we think because, why because the mesh up here it actually does
Standing the goose.
to the spine instead of that.
So yeah,
Putting it on something else.
and
Movement going on here.
Cecil's doing some visualization. I haven't seen what
It's
uh,
funny to see
Monsoon of Babies has been doing for a little while, so I wonder
I must
what
say.
kind of good stuff.
Yeah, we do have a user variable. Cool. Where'd my my logic still?
Oh, what you're working on?
Hey, how's it going? We were doing that thing you mentioned, like making a sphere that kind of like fades out on the user. We're
Oh, nice.
debugging right now because I don't think it's doing it properly. Which that's the natural course of things.
Hmm.
Da-da-da. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out like if it's getting me. No.
Mhm.
Not doing-
Hey Dante, how's it going?
Okay, that's a
Hello.
good start.
Going alright.
Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. Hold on.
Oh.
Just working on different perceptual stuff. They're working on something that'll attach to the head and then fade out, so
Yeah,
and
that's
the
me.
effect will change around the
Okay.
user.
Good stuff.
Cecil's doing visualization, and
You look at the user.
The grass can be just recolored.
It's
So if I
definitely
want the
me.
desert world, I can just make it yellow, and that'll be.
Yep.
Get rid of
And-
these two, I guess.
No, it's not just easy.
Goose.
One step at a time.
Goose.
I'm just blind.
Try this. I'm just kind of looking at
I don't know if that fits the theme, or does it?
the,
perspective of a goose, all you can do is, I guess if you made it mute so you can't talk except for quacking, that would be really,
in a row. Is that my head?
People would quack in Morse code.
yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, there's definitely the head. Okay, sorry, information's getting there. Maybe.
Very cool.
You need that respawn?
I think what you might want to
I'll just
do
leave
is
that. It's supposed to be
keep
false.
at scale
Yep.
1, and have the
So yeah,
panel above that be the
we'll
scale
probably
1.
end up having
Do any
something.
scale
Admiral Soap
1
had a good idea.
replacement of all
I was
the
thinking of
ones
using these
that
modular things to
as
walk you
scale
to a
1.
different spot, but
So you don't have to
they
do
were
it
thinking IKEA,
in
and so that'd be
step
funny if
by
they're going in
step.
different types of places that are kind of like little spots like IKEA. That's funny. And so we'll probably do something where it's he was describing kind of like an orb that you'd go into that's like a fake skybox, and each one would be its own little area. And that's not a bad idea either. So I might play around with that as a challenge. So Yeah, if you're interested in doing any perceptual stuff, you're welcome. There's a lot of different ways to do it, from whether it has to be like something kind of like the mushrooms you take, or some kind of meditative cool down place, or through the eyes of like some kind of object.
The object itself isn't working.
Let's see if I think of something. I already made something for a while today. So.
Ooh, what'd you make?
Myself really quick. See if I have a bunch
Oh, I made a thing for VR in Blender. It's a flower.
Oh, that's
And a
nice.
thing.
Aw, that's sweet.
I'm trying to practice Blender.
on my head. Yep.
No smell yet, unfortunately. Someday we'll have smell in VR.
We'll get it eventually.
But they haven't deleted themselves.
That's nice.
Which makes sense.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
Well,
Yeah,
at least now we know
Blender's a
what
nice tool. Doing the mesh modeling and stuff like that. I'm a fan of
that
it.
one's down there.
I have a lot of fun with it. I rarely make my own things. I'm more just like edit other things. So
Was that all
trying to
from
get better at making stuff from scratch. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Do you prefer to make organic or inorganic so far?
It is.
I don't do any sculpting. I mostly just like box model and like work with individual vertices and stuff like that. So
Location to be my head.
I'm not gonna be making characters or anything like that.
Mhm.
It's just like making another one and then.
Yeah, I'm most experienced in mesh modeling too. I haven't really done the sculpt mode like ZBrush stuff as much.
See, this one made it.
Yeah.
Don't know what that was on.
Because I see, I've always thought of myself that I have the technical skill. Like I know how to use all the features of all the tools. I'm just not an artist.
Oh, that's a nonsense term sometimes, because you have plenty of creativity. And a lot of like the skills that people consider as artists is just something that's been practiced. Any person that you usually admire, they've been doing it for like years, and it'd be just the same thing as you as a coder. Like it takes a while to get to that kind of point where everything's just intuitive.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
That is not a set. I want to set. Oh, thank you.
I'm looking at this. I want to see what this is.
Yeah, sure.
Set that to 0 and.
Yo, I'm gonna do some hopping. See ya.
Oh,
Bye.
take care, Electrospy.
Slime block.
Hello.
Hello. Ooh, you got a cool little kit of things over here. These look
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, this you can. I'll end up making it so it's shareable in the Creator Jam. But here you go. This is the Kenny's nature kit.
Awesome.
This is Kenny stuff, and there's a bunch of other stuff like that in the Creator Jam public as far as modular, under nature and under items. So
Well, one.
yeah,
We don't need the
I'll play around with some of these and build out a little bit of an environment.
It's like tiny and.
For reasons. I'm going to set this to 0.2.
Hmm.
This probably isn't the problem, but I want to check. Yeah.
What are you making in this area?
Oh, just thinking about like a kind of like an IKEA themed thing where it's
Oh, yeah.
technically just a big square with fake walls, and then it just changes the atmosphere when you go to the other area. But then I'm wondering,
Well, I'm pretty sure it's safe.
of course I could just
Because, well, one, it's not
use like
actually
two
deleting
planes
itself.
and make it into
Two, another
like
way to do that
a cross, and then.
have access to all these nodes like in the objects if you just go
I have a
down
not so nice room to use under Creator Jam Public. Here it has a lot more polys than it needs.
Oh, is it like a box?
Yeah, it's a box with a door though.
Oh.
And then, but it has
That
a lot more
sounds
polys. And I've used these for stuff before.
Oh yeah, true. And then again, on this thing you can't. You can't make additional doors.
It's gonna look a little funny, but that's okay.
No.
Hmm.
Now it's all on the floor.
Now we do have portal doors that we can mess with, ones that are kind of fun that Anomalous made a while ago. Let's see. Or you can use portals just all together.
Yeah, but Unportal is like rather laggy.
You
At
can
least
do
from
it.
what I've.
One on my head. What happened?
They are, but you can set it to where they only activate when you're nearby. And what this portal does also
Is it parented to you?
under, let's see.
Uh-oh. What are we?
This only activates right when you open it, so that way it cuts down the amount of lagginess.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. Something's happening.
There we are.
I think
So something like this.
Oh, so it's like a door portal. Oh, that's interesting. And then if you go
Except-
through, it'll.
Except you have to be in walk mode.
Actually, here.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's just like
And this is, I'm guessing, this is the whatchamacallit, you know, the outcoming.
Yeah. Let's shoot this with some stuff.
I definitely did not.
There. Now we can go through the door.
That's kind of dumb.
Okay. Whoa.
Head.
That's interesting.
So that's a really useful one that has a nice effect already. Anomalous built this for
Oh, you know what?
the Creator Jam that we did a haunted house in. So this is the haunted house door.
Oh, that's why it has the creaking sound.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we could use this if we need to have something that activates within a certain user distance. I can pull something from another world that I was working on that has uses some tricks with culling. So when you go so far away, it doesn't activate. And it's really performant. And so we could do that too, and have it warp you into another space. But then again, if you're just having it to each room, just changes the environment. We don't have to worry about that. We can just have it blocked off with some kind of visual tricks.
What is going on?
Yeah, that's true.
Can I just disable this please?
The good thing with like using this sort of thing is that you can make it like when you have the 4 areas, you can make them that you can go only one direction.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I like it because it gives you that kind of surrealistic feel that you keep going into new places and new places, and it just never ends in some ways.
Yeah.
I used this in a desert world once, and it was nice because you go to one spot that was like this right near a gas station in the desert, and then when you open that, you go into just the giant like underground facility, and so that's fun.
Jesus, so dumb.
Who made that door?
Anomalous made the door.
Okay.
It was built in Neos, the sculpt of it.
Well, more? Okay.
Oh yeah, Dante, I joined on you in your home world, but you were sleeping. Sleepy boy. I don't know if you were sleeping.
Yeah.
I guess you were just
I was getting
AFK.
some lunch. Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're already setting the position, it doesn't matter where we have this.
So yeah, let's see. Well, maybe we'll think out a strategy and then we can build from there. Ooh, need to stretch for a second. Ooh. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what's up?
Just making a.
So.
What are you doing?
All right, so let's think it through.
Okay. Node.
Draw.
Oh yeah, wait.
On
Stuff.
On active.
Where's the material stylus? There we go. So it's like when you think about it. So it's just square with fake walls going like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of the doors could be
Let me do this real quick.
just let's just bring this. The thing I was thinking about is like the doors are like somewhere like kind of around these parts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
But then it could be big enough that it's not just going around the edges, but you can actually have to go like.
Just making sure.
So everyone has a different movement.
I'm not sure I get the different movement. Are you talking about that there's a path and each one of these is a path?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like it's not going around the edges and then it feels like a loop. So it more like feels like they're actually proper areas.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that's
and then
possible.
again, some of them could have different paths, so it feels like every time you go, you can go to a different path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Like that's doable. You'd have to have a little bit of decorative hide, like blocking and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, like walls and stuff. So they're like with the kit only. If we go with that, the things we could have is like the forest area, some sort of temple area. What else were they? Well, there was
Give me a second. I'll say hello to Jason. I'll be back in just a minute.
Very weird.
Hi, Jason.
What's up? How are you?
Good, good. Oh, you're not Jason Moe anymore. You're just Jason.
Yeah, I asked Fruits to change it, just I thought it was cleaner.
Nice. Welcome.
Are you streaming?
Yes, I am streaming.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a little bit laggy for me, but not terrible.
Yeah, it's not due to my streaming. I think it's just due to
It's
everything.
a big world.
Yeah,
Or
there's
everything
a
is
bunch
there,
of-
yeah.
Yeah, it's also been. Yep, we're 2 hours in. That's usually the lag point if there's heavy stuff in here. Actually,
It's just, you just keep adding and adding and adding, and it's gets bigger and bigger.
and then eventually, if you reset the whole world, all the assets kind of clean out if they haven't already. And
Right.
how's everything been going with the film?
Good, man. I just,
Well,
every
experience.
every Sunday when Creative Jam happens, something keeps getting in my way with my life, and I just finally I've literally got like 10 minutes before I have to go do some chore, and I'm like, I am not missing. I literally just wanted to come in and say hi to you and just say, what's up? How are you? Good. But yeah, my project's coming along great. What's today's theme?
Today's theme is perception. And so you can kind of broadly take that theme in a lot of different ways. For instance, like the mushrooms kind of give you more of a psychedelic perception.
Okay.
You could have kind of like a meditative type space to kind of get you in a certain type of calmed mind space, or it could be through like an animal's perspective where is Goose? Where is Goose? There it is.
I see a goose over there, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Freedom.
I love it.
Why are you right?
You're cute. Your honk is awesome.
So
I
yeah,
love
Bean
it.
did a great job. This comes from a game where the goose basically goes around and harasses people, just like geese in just like geese in real life.
Yeah, Untitled Goose Game or something like that.
Yep,
Was that what
exactly.
that was? Yeah, all right.
So,
Am I big? Oh yeah.
have you seen the Raptors that
You
last
should
jam?
you should make the scanner guy the goose, and when the goose comes and scans you, it honks at you.
I like that.
For some reason, my brain like instantly went to an old Cronenberg film called Scanners, and
I remember that
I was
film.
imagining you at first talking about like the goose being like a scanner, and you can make people's heads explode. Like you just nearest user, and it's quacking, and their head just gets larger and larger and larger, then blows up.
That works too.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I
It's
saw that
a
the
fun-
other day. Yeah.
Oh no,
That's pretty good.
I need to be able to hit it with my lasers. I'm trying to hit my character.
Uh,
There we are. So yeah,
Scanner.
you might want to talk. Have you met Joris yet?
No.
Let's see if he's around. He was
Okay.
earlier. I think he's someone you want to connect with. He's also a professor, and he deals with
Oh, cool.
theatrical experiences and
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
from
definitely.
the
Please-
Netherlands. Really awesome
Okay.
guy.
Okay. How do you say his name again?
His name is Joris.
Joris, Joris?
Mhm.
Good. Okay. If I don't meet him today, then I'll look for him on the Discord maybe.
He's super nice. I think that you have a lot in common that would connect with.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was showing someone from the Venice Biennale what you were doing. They were real excited about it.
Oh, cool. That's great. Well, that's a major festival. So
I know.
if somebody from that festival thinks what I'm doing is good, I want to meet that
Right?
person.
Right.
That's
Joris
one of
is
my
not
big,
the
just so
person.
you know, that's pretty much my biggest goal for the meta movie, for the Alien Rescue, is I want to get it into a VR festival.
Oh, it should be. That's the thing is the stuff
I
that's
hope.
in
Yeah.
festivals right now. There's some neat stuff, but a lot of it, when you get 360 and everything else, come on, we can do better.
Yeah, we can do better than that. You know what I noticed, man, is that, and I know that I haven't been around for a while, but it feels like today we're starting to see like groups of people doing their own thing in the same space, which like a
Yes.
couple of months ago, that was more the norm, was to go away and not really build in the same space.
That's very true.
Is that a conscious choice on your part, or is it just naturally evolving?
It's been something we've always wanted, and now Neos keeps getting more and more performant. That it's becoming like, even though you're lagging a little bit, that actually hasn't
Right.
been common. Last week, even though we had some technical difficulties, not lag difficulties, but just something else. everyone was working in World the whole time. We didn't even reset the server.
That's awesome,
So
dude.
it's super
that is
exciting.
so awesome.
Super exciting.
Really, really,
Yeah.
really exciting. I want to come in here. I don't want to say something and then not follow through on it, but you know how much I love what you're doing. I think it's one of the most interesting things that I've seen in all of VR. It's one of the
thank you.
when I was in High Fidelity, many years, a couple years ago, there was a little bit of a vibe of this too. It was informal, but you could find people building in the same space, and it's what immediately hooked me to VR. And I think that this what is happening right here is magic. And I want you to know how much I support it, how much I love it. Personally, I love it, and I think it's great for the community. And I want to come in here and like just shoot some video and push it out, just so that you're not the only one like sharing this, because I feel like, at least for me, one of the things that will help Neos grow is events. I think that people
Totally
like to
agree.
know that there's something happening on this day and time, and I can go there and I don't have to know anybody, but there'll be somebody friendly like you, or everybody's friendly, but you'll go and you'll just, and it could be something like this, it could be a dance party, it could be music, it could be whatever, but so, and this is actually perfect, because this is really this is the magic, right? I mean, building creatively together. So when I have some more time, I want to come in here and just shoot some video and just help you publicize it a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll grow. Like, that's the goal, is someday when we see, right now it's a small culture in Neos. Most people are tinkers, creators. Once we get a consumer culture of people that just want to go in and do things and not make or not do anything, touch anything that's inside here. I want a place for those people that still want to tinker and have that old atmosphere to come in and say, wait, that's what this is about. And you're like, yeah, this is the fun stuff. Like this group collaborative build effort. And I look forward to someday, and this is some stuff you're doing with the film, the same type of ideas. You say, well, do we have any avatar people here? Yeah. And do we have any people that are like dancers, musicians, sound artists? And you just say, hey, everyone can come together, and someone say, oh, perception. Oh, wait, I've been working on effects. Check out this. I've been working on this. And next thing you know, everyone just kind of mixes into that soup, and it's this just delicious dish.
Yeah. You know what would be really cool too, if somehow there would be a way for the casual user to like have almost like I'm thinking like Photoshop Lite or something, like, how could a casual user be part of something like this, but without any real knowledge, like if there was just like you've been always really helpful. Like I'll come in and you'll just be like, here's the convex hole brush, like you can use this to make something, like little things like that. Like I just
Oh yeah, the way to do it, there's the main issue I have right now is just when you look at the intro start, this is just a giant mess. This is like someone just a messy house and just throwing everything on the wall. Eventually I was thinking maybe like some kind of little intro experience. You come into it and it's like a cage at the zoo, or like a glass at the zoo, and so you go in there and you're looking around at everyone through that, so that gives you already the feel that like you're not in it yet, but you're still seeing it all, and then it like tells you stuff that's kind of humorous, and then it kind of gives you like a understanding that instead of me just popping up every time saying, hey, this is how you do it, what you
like
could
a
do,
tutorial or something.
Yeah, something really brief, because people don't want to listen or watch things too long. And basically I try and build it like I would art classes when I used to teach them, is you want something multi-tiered so that really talented person can just go for it, and you just let them go and they're doing something cool. And then someone that feels uncomfortable, they can, I've been starting to do this a little bit more, is add a share folder, which has a temporary share of all kinds of examples. And here's a bunch of them right here for people that want. This one would be a little bit more difficult.
Oh, right.
I think it's just because but under like the materials, and just even shooting some things with materials give you kind of like a trippy feel. I can show you if you want, if you have a minute.
Yeah, totally.
I'll show you this one part of the psychedelic stuff. Something I was doing is like a little tester.
Okay, should I hop in?
Yeah, I'll start the world and then just join.
Okay.
Once I load in.
Great. I should make this more descriptive.
You'll want to be in fly mode.
Okay. Ooh, wow. What is this?
And so these are just different models, and depending on their vertices and how they're UV mapped, you get really weird stuff, and I have it just attached to the sound.
Ooh, this is cool, dude.
So I figured that would be fun. Like this alien head does weird warpy things, and all it is shooting it with a certain material that's a vertex displacement. And then the ground you're seeing is a fur shader that just has a couple values changed. So it's nothing too crazy, but you do get
This is great.
you do get that like warped, trippy stuff where things are kind of breathing, and I thought that would be fun. And so someone that's a beginner wouldn't be able to do that, but they could shoot stuff with it. I mean, it's real easy just to grab this material. And there we are.
Wow, that's cool. Was this something that you guys did in Creator Jam, or is this something that you just did on your own?
I did on my own. There's some tester
that's
stuff.
Cool.
And I figured
I love it.
This fits in with the perception, so there's worlds people can explore and get an idea. A lot of times...
Got it, right. Sure, like an example, okay.
And so I figure examples help, and then usually I like to have modular stuff that people can add in. Like, for instance, I'm going to jump out of this.
Okay.
I love how it's just instantaneous.
Yeah, totally.
But like even having like modular pieces to build out like worlds, like so someone doesn't have to be able to be a sculptor; they can just move parts. It's like kind of like interior design, but with exteriors. Like just doing world building from if you fly up to here.
Invisible. The mesh renderer.
Ooh, what is this? Oh, these little pizzas.
Yeah, these are all.
That's
this
cool.
is a public domain modular set.
Okay.
And so I try to
That's
make it so
awesome.
everything that people use is
Sure.
commercially
So
free
like
to
a
use too.
newbie. Yeah, and also like a beginner like me, I could sit here and I could probably play with this and figure it out, you know?
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
it feels really comfortable because I mean everyone can move pieces around and have fun with it, and then just
Totally,
learn how to
totally.
use a setter tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I ideally like to do is have it so anyone, like someone that's a Logix wizard's doing crazy stuff, which they're doing something that attaches to the head, and so you have like a fade out or some kind of effect that happens. Ziesel's working on visualization of like data.
Cool.
Things like that. So yeah.
It's just so cool to look around the space and see like, okay, there's a group over there working on their
Yeah.
thing there. These guys over here working. I know this was always like your dream, and it
Yeah.
is. I mean, it is definitely laggy, but it's just going to keep getting better and better, right?
Oh, definitely. And I don't even know why it's laggy actually right now because we're not doing too heavy of stuff. So I think that it's someone is doing something heavy that I can't tell yet, either with the coding or
Yeah.
something over there. But when we reset it,
Is it
will be
laggy for you
smooth.
too? Because it could. My wife's on a Zoom call too, so it could be she's eating up some of my bandwidth.
I'm getting about like 16 FPS, which is pretty
Yeah.
slow. 25 is kind of normal with, let's see how many people are in world. We have 10 people in world, so that's normal. So the fact that they're all doing
With all
stuff also.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But yeah, the same thing with publicity with what you're doing. You're doing some of the early stuff that's hopefully going to be considered historically significant, I would think. So that's really
I
exciting.
don't know. I'm gonna tell you, it's going really well. I mean,
That's
The
great.
guys in here are great. We're in rehearsals already, so the cast is done, and we're
Wonderful.
rehearsing already. Yeah, I'm so far so good. I mean, it's big and it's complicated and it's challenging, but those are all things that I'm really down for. I love a good challenge.
That's the
It's
exciting
a blast.
part.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now,
Wow.
after you do everything for the VIPs, when are general admission tickets and things like that for people to come in and visit, stuff like that?
Well, so what'll happen is that whenever we do any performance, we'll have the main audience person will be the VIP, and they're the one that will have all the major interaction and talking to the actors and everything. But also, we're also always going to be inviting Firefly audiences to come in. These will be smaller avatars, like the size of a little firefly, and you won't be able to talk or really interact with anybody. You'll just be kind of passively watching. And we can usually have 5 or 10 or 15 of those at any performance. So that gives us a way to kind of scale up the project a little bit, and also gives people the opportunity. Maybe they don't really want all the attention of being the VIP. They don't want the pressure of like having to improv or perform, so they can come in and just kind of buzz around and fly around and observe everything as it's unfolding in real time. So we'll always have that. Every performance will always have room for more than one person. And then in terms of VIPs, we're just going to have a list, we're going to either have a list of people and you just get on the list, or I'm also thinking about doing like something more of a randomizer. So 5 people say they want to do the experience, and we all meet randomly generate one of them get picked as a VIP and the rest get to be the Fireflies. We might do something like that. I don't know. But we're also, once we start getting into rehearsals, I'm going to ask people to come in and just test and go through, 4 scenes as the VIP, or go through, the second half of the experience as the VIP, just to kind of help us. And I'm going to be letting everybody else, of the community know, like, if you guys will be willing to help us, we could really use that. So.
Oh man, anytime. I'd be happy to.
We're months away. We're months away. Yeah. We're months away, but it'll get there. Anyway, Medra, I literally just wanted to pop this thing on, hop in here, say hello. Up with you.
Always
it's been
a pleasure.
But just so you know, every Sunday I've actually got it on my calendar every Sunday, and I think about you guys. So massive props. Keep doing this great stuff. And my school year is over in a couple of weeks, so maybe my life is going to get a little bit better, and I'll be able to get back in here. How's life treating you with the crazy Corona and all that? You okay?
It's good. It's good. I work in VR, so really there's not too much difference.
Good.
And so I've been working on specialized user interfaces for some stuff, which has been fun.
Say that again.
I've been working on like some teaching and some specialized user interfaces stuff.
Oh, so cool! Very cool. Okay, cool. Are you doing it in here?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's all in EOS. Everything I do is in EOS, thankfully. So I'm working in here, which is awesome.
That's
and no one I know's had Corona yet. I know that.
Good.
How's it going with you all, like in New York and everything?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've known a couple people. I've had a lot of students actually who've either gotten sick or their families gotten sick. So it's definitely like it's around. I can feel it around. But right now, my wife and I have a place 3 hours outside of the city, up in the Catskill Mountains.
Yeah.
So we've been up here for almost 2 months now, and so it's very different up here. It's very quiet. There's not that many cases around. Everybody's still staying home, but it's not as crazy. New York, we went back to New York a couple days ago just for like 24 hours, and it's weird, man. It's like a ghost town. It's very weird to see all the streets empty, and the subways are all empty, and everybody's got their mask on, and it's kind of depressing, actually.
Yeah, it's a weird post-apocalyptic world in that way.
Weird. It's a very weird. I think New York City is going to be the last place to normalize,
I believe
because it's so dense. Yeah. Where are you located again? I can't remember.
Cincinnati area, and so like the Mark Twain quote that like things don't hit till 10 years later. So maybe we won't see the Corona till like 10 more years, and then we're like, oh wow, it's really hitting us hard.
But I assume your city is still on lockdown, I guess.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
And so everyone's actually my neighborhood. I don't know why everyone's just been out and about, but.
Weather's getting nice too, though, right?
That's true. Yeah.
That's true. All right, man. I'm going to get out of here. I just really wanted to say hi. So great luck with today. Really good to see you again, Mendra. And I will try to catch up with you if I can next week. Okay.
Definitely. Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yes.
Definitely not a hanging out FPS. But
yeah, is everyone getting a strong lag now? I'm starting to. It's starting to get to a point where it's about reset server time. That usually is about 2 hours in. How's everyone doing?
Hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to figure out how to work this thing, so we can go somewhere else.
Oh, what's going on?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm going to probably reset the server then, everybody, to get everything kind of saved to a point, and be ready in about 5 minutes.
Sounds good.
Is everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, Veer. I didn't get to say hello.
Let's go.
Hey.
Hello. Going.
Hey.
We're going to be seeing the lasers really soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool.
The spaghetti noodle lasers. And one of the best things that I'm really excited about is the fact that they're not always on. You have to trigger it to turn on by pulling your trigger.
Oh, nice.
And that way it'll actually So, it'll be less immersion breaking when you're waving your arms around and you see like red lasers in your face,
And then you could always use edit mode if you need to have them,
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's good.
And just the ability to grab like a dev tooltip from like 50 feet away. Can't wait.
Heck yeah. Oh.
Very cool. Can't wait to test it.
Yes.
Did you have the share folder from Probable Prime? I need to look at something.
Yeah, it's under the share. Under there, under share, under shared folders. I have it in there as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And hopefully it works. I think it should.
Object grid aligner
Let me
was
see.
in there. Figured out how to use it.
Oh, Object Grid Aligner is so wonderful.
I used Bluetooth for the first time and I parented all of these.
Hello.
So where do you want to go?
Hello, Admiral.
You scared me. Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, Deeds. Welcome to Creator Jam. Is this your first time here to a Creator Jam?
It is.
Oh,
It
well,
is
welcome.
actually.
Basically, it's an open source event where we come in, we build based on a theme, and then share that world with everyone, and then they're able to reuse everything and remix whatever they want. And anyone's welcome to participate at any level. But we're going to be, you're welcome to come back in about like 15 minutes. We're going to be resetting the world. If you can't tell, it's a little bit laggy, and I want to kind of like fix that out. And so,
I got it.
so usually resetting the server kind of cleans out everything. What? Is it not showing in there, Beamed?
Nope.
Why? So watch. This is what they should see. Shared folders. Let me try this out. See if I can give you a shared folder that works. Give me a second. And then I'll save. Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit of technical difficulties.
Position at user.
But feel free to add. These share folders are temporary, and the share folder over there is permanent. The Creator Jam shared. This is just rough notes. We're building based on perception. I have a bunch of examples to kind of show some ideas for people. And let's make this into a folder and see if that works. Okay, try this out, Bean. See if it works for you. If not, then I'll just add in about a bunch of folders that are in those share folders.
Yeah.
Oh.
It already has all the settings we need. That's. I missed.
Yeah.
Is there logics following me?
I'm scared.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You added something to everybody.
Did I?
You added something to everybody.
That explains. Did I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Turn that off.
I'm sorry.
You might want to fix that before we reset world.
Perception altering. Also, yeah, here's the little blueprint I already did.
Oh, nice. Using the grid aligner. Heck yeah.
No, I actually did it by hand because I couldn't figure out how grid aligner how to make it work properly.
Oh, nice.
So it's just a very rough draft right now, and then I just parented all them together.
Are they
So I can use.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What we were about to do.
Yeah, I saved it. Yeah, it's good
We're
for
actually just going to leave it there.
starting to test it more later.
Unactivated.
At least I'm sure I parented them, not baked them.
It's the new shared folder.
Yeah, okay, they're parented.
It's still empty.
All separate.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Thank you. Oh man, really? And so the shared folders is not showing all this? Fine. Here you go.
Nope.
Okay, sorry we couldn't make it like.
Basically, all of these have a bunch of those items. Here you go. And hopefully that works. And if it doesn't, I want to cry.
Cool.
Obviously, with these things.
Okay, there's no more logic surrounding us. That's good. Okay. So, have you ever taken the mushroom in here, Deeds? Is it Deeds?
Yeah.
Have you ever taken the mushroom inside Neos yet?
Dang it.
So there's perception stuff we can make like that. Oh, okay. So you've seen the general stuff.
Is it because they changed something?
Also Goose. Thanks to Beamed.
Are you okay? You're good.
You've caused enough trouble.
Good. Start working. Okay, good. Good.
So from the perspective of Goose, but basically with perceptions, it can be something that deals with something that's more psychedelic. It could be something that's much more meditative. From the viewpoint of someone else, there's a lot of maybe just from the viewpoint of a bullet, all kinds of things.
Okay, so I'm sure
Stuff that was dealing with like
I
ASMR.
have an idea of like how to do like an effect sort of thing in Logix. But
And these are just
oh. Who are more conscious of like how local stuff works.
All right. Well, I better reset the server, and then we'll get everything back to a nice, clean place. It'll feel a little bit. We'll have some of our frames back. So I'll see you guys in about anywhere from 10-15 minutes, and I'll use this to grab a snack too.
Take this time, get some water.
And so it's nice to meet you, Deeds.
You too. I've always wanted to come through one of these, but I've never had the Sunday free to do it.
Well, awesome. Yeah, we'll chat some more when I get back.
I'll see you in a minute.
So this world will be closing, everybody. I'll see you guys shortly. So it's been a pretty good jam so far. Pretty more relaxed, but that's cool. And we'll see how it kind of like turns out. I hope to get an environment that we can kind of immerse ourselves in when we're kind of working through the different like perceptual things made, and then go from there. And then if we get that environment, maybe I'll start adding my own contribution to perceptual weirdness, because I already have some stuff built. So we'll see. Well, I'm going to take a break while we reset the server, slam some food at the same time. It's usually that good time to just consume while waiting for the server to do its thing. So I'll see you guys very shortly, from 5 to 15 minutes. So see you soon. And we're back. And we're back, everyone. Good news is we have all our frames back, and time to start building out some fun stuff. And everyone's going to start coming in. So let's do this. And slammed some miso soup, homemade miso soup. Yum. Oh, hey. How did the floor stuff go? How's everybody's frames too?
Let's see. 60.
Okay. I figured everyone should have their frames back now. So yeah, let's see. How did the floor installation stuff go, DJ Nightmares? Oh. Oh, VR assist, cool. All right, let's see. So this is Cecil's working on some stuff. And Admiral Soap was working on some design things, so we'll play around with that.
Become Goose. Awesome.
Wait, no clicky yet. Okay.
Hi, Midra.
Hey. At first it's really cute and kind of annoying, and then if you get bigger, then it's scary.
How you make the goose noises?
Hold down your grip and then press trigger. Oh, you accidentally jumped into VR assist.
What? Ah, I'm not a goose anymore.
Oh.
Amazing. Oh, amazing. That makes me to want to like scan the beach area here on the Danube River and
Oops.
to make this with a duck, so you can be a duck
Okay.
at the place. Awesome. So brilliant.
Oh, interesting. Hold on a second. Oh, did someone put in an effect? Ooh. Oh no.
Weird.
Oh, is this hitting everybody?
Ah, yes.
Are you all
The
getting affected too?
posterized.
Are you guys all getting affected
No.
by this?
I'm not.
I'm
What is
seeing
this?
weird stuff.
No, I'm a goose. I'm fine.
This...
Gooses are immune. Oh yeah, no. What I am now?
So yeah, I'm gonna put this one in the inventory. I'm not sure if it's the one causing it. I think it is, which is pretty nice. I'll put it in here and add it later. It's DJ Nightmares contribution.
There we go. Thanks, Con.
Tell me, like, is that like one person is distinct and the other person can ride him, or what?
No, it's just to show how it works, and so you can see how.
Ah, okay. I thought that we finally have some avatar where one can be a horse and the other one can ride him.
Oh, that wouldn't be too hard. It would be the same as the driving you. It's the exact same type of principle.
Then we will have the pet players coming in.
Oh yeah, well, there's in VR chat. There's I've seen ones where the guy was riding on a Velociraptor. It was really cool. That guy was super nice. And then all the Velociraptor, they never talked at all. All they did is roar. It was great.
That's amazing.
That's what people should be doing with the geese. No talking in this avatar.
How interesting.
So yeah, we're working on perception today. So it can be anything from trippy effects to meditative stuff to looking through someone else's eyes to emulating like a mental illness, all kinds of stuff. Much more than that. And so I brought in some examples under the share, which the share works somewhat. For some reason, some of the folders that are inside here are not shared. I don't know why, but so I have them separately there too.
Cool. And we have the Game Boy view.
Yes.
Hey, it writes my name.
Yeah, it recognizes user behind it.
Oh. And then it says something in Japanese, I assume.
Yes.
It basically says like user appeared in Pokemon style.
Ah, okay. In Japanese. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Otherwise, it just says nobody's there.
Is that a dash on it? Is that a da, not a ta?
Yeah, da. Dare mo inai.
Daremo. Is that?
So it's like.
Is that a sh? Like a sh?
Which one?
Mo under right past the mo. Is that just a little tiny?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so like it's dare mo inai.
Oh,
And then
that's
it's
an E.
just-
Okay, I see it. I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
No, yeah, it's hard to read with the. It's just pixels, so.
Yeah. Daremo inai.
Yeah, so like.
Daremo inai.
That's. Yeah, it's inai is just kind of like a shortened form of imasen, which is the to exist for humans and living things. There's arimas, which is to exist for inanimate objects, and then there's imas to exist for like people. And inai is like informal form of the negative, so isn't there. And then the first part is daremo, that essentially just indicates like anybody, because dare is who, and then I guess if you add mo at the end, is anybody. So
okay.
daremo inai is nobody's there.
Nice.
Yep. And otherwise, basically says like user has appeared, or just like come out or something like that. Actually, Tobidashita Tobidashiteki.
Oh, that's a dash. I couldn't tell whether that's a dash or not. Like for the B. Like Tobi.
Which one?
I thought that it could have been Tohi, because I couldn't tell if that's a B or not, like a Tobi. So that little dot is a dash.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. No, yeah, you're. I assume has to be
Tobidashite.
because
Yeah. Tobidashite, and then I. Yeah.
It's actually I think it's a combination of words. It's like there's the verb to kobimas is actually to fly. Then dashimas is to take out, So I think it's a combination of the two. Like Tobidashimas is to just like jump out.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I think it's like in Pokemon style. It's like then Ga over here is just kind of like the indicator particle
Yeah.
for like the subject, I guess. So then it has like some sort of weird conjugation at the end, where it's just like Tobidashi Tekima or Tekita. So like ta at the end is just like past tense in this context. I don't know. It's doing a lot of weird stuff at once.
Interesting.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing.
That's what I think. What's going on. Oh yeah, I like trying to read it. It's always fun when I'm like at work or something and there's like a customer with Japanese on their shirt. It's like, how can I insert their shirt into the conversation so I look smart?
You don't have to worry about looking smart. You're plenty smart already.
No, I'm just. Oh, thanks. I just like trying to show off sometimes. Otherwise, I don't really speak Japanese in a standard day-to-day life. So it's just fun to try to find an excuse.
Well, time for more
That's
practice.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what pipes and monocles are for, to look smart.
You're right.
Hey, DJ Nightmares. Yeah, streaming.
Oh, that's psycho.
Yeah. I added your phone in, but we're gonna probably add it in later just because I think it was affecting the entire world. So, but nice job. That's pretty cool. Hey, Jeff. Oh, your voice is sounding a little choppy. Yeah, I can't hear you right now. Are you talking? Oh, I can kind of hear you. You're
shaving my Jeep, bro. What are you talking about?
I think you got the crackles. I thought those were gone. And Neo sometimes.
No.
Oh no, you're good now. Okay, well, good.
I think it's just something that's going to happen randomly as I get latency.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
I walked into the magic mushroom.
So I'm going. Oh no, you walked in the magic mushroom. Oh no.
It's okay. Oh no.
See, I'm going to probably work on some of the environment that Emerald Soap was working on and get build in from there.
Oh boy.
But yeah, feel free if you want to.
Maybe you should try the
And what game
combination
stuff
of
have you
being a
worked on in the
goose and
past?
taking the mushroom.
If you don't mind following me this way.
Oh wow.
Like, what do you mean, like in Neos?
Oh no, just all together.
Well, I do a lot of building in Rec Room. Are you familiar with that game?
Oh, nice. How do you like the building tools in Rec Room? I haven't played with their builder tools yet.
I like it. It's very like there's a lot less you can do than in Rec Room than there is in Neos, but it's also a ton more intuitive.
That's for sure.
It's fun. It's also kind of limiting though, because there's like you only have so much stuff in the room, so.
What's the limited amount? Like, do they only allow so much in the room, or?
Yeah, so it's like a percent-based system. So like each object that you spawn in has a certain percent assigned to it.
Oh,
and it can't go over 100%.
That's interesting. That's how they're able to keep people from lagging the whole worlds out. Interesting. That's fascinating. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back in just a second. I can't find an item that was in here that Admiral
All right.
Soap had, and so I think I might be in the redundant backup. Doesn't make sense, but it won't take me about a minute. All right, let's find out where stuff that. Well, that is bizarre. Admiral Soap had this right here. We saved both the worlds together. Well, nuts. That doesn't make any sense. We saved it identically. Okay, well, that's fine. Whoa. Nice. That's cool, Draconis. Okay, let's see. Nuts. Oh, see, so this is the wrong world. I'm just trying to find something in a backup world real quick, and it's not there. Weird. I'll see you in the other jam.
Is the access around?
Oh, yeah, it's in the other jam, though. There we are. Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently that object's not there. That's obnoxious. But it happens. Where is Ziesel? Must. Alright, Ziesel. And there we are. So, okay. Yeah, when I had the other world open, it popped in. So, yeah, well, take care, DJ Nightmares. It was nice to see you, and thanks for doing an awesome job. Like, it's pretty cool. I really like what you did. I think other people will find it interesting, too. So, yeah, what I'm going to probably do, Jeff, is work on an idea that's an extension of what Admiral Soap was working on, which was separate sections, but instead of being, that would be kind of like IKEA, that each part would be its own compartment. And then instead of it being interior, it's going to be exteriors, though. And so you'll walk into, like, one part will be a desert, one part will be something else, and probably go from there.
IKEA.
Actually, there's not any like IKEAs around me, so I'm actually not sure what you mean by that. But
Oh, okay. I used to not know what IKEA was either. Like, basically all it is, it's a bunch of
You can be a,
it's like a giant place where there's a bunch of furniture, but they have little tiny demonstration rooms, and then you'll walk around a path, and then sometimes they'll have doorways to go through areas, but basically you're just going through paths to different showrooms, really.
Is it making noises? I didn't hear them.
Really? You don't hear the quacks?
No. Is it making them?
No, no.
No,
No, you have to grip and trigger. Oh, what type of controller are you using?
Windows Mixed Reality. I
Oh,
don't know,
okay.
maybe they're a bit weird.
Oh, I don't know. Let me ask. What should he click for mixed reality?
Secondary.
Oh, your secondary. Use your secondary. Press the big button.
Yeah. I'm trying various combinations.
Oh, so...
I haven't set up mixed reality yet, though, but if it's not set up, it should be secondary.
Huh. So just pressing secondary
weird.
doesn't work for you?
No. That's...
Oh, crap.
I'll have to look into that.
Oh, no.
That's strange. Okay. No worries. I'll put the goose on the ground there.
Yeah, but seeing a goose is awesome. It's like,
Getting scared.
especially the combination with the goose and the shroom.
So do you have any Rec Room worlds to check out? Like, I would love to check them out sometime.
Cool. I see someone's over here.
I see it.
Oh,
I see
do you have any...
your,
follow me this way if you don't mind. I'll start working on
is
stuff.
already in here.
Do you have any Rec Room worlds, as far as any Rec Room worlds that I could visit? I'd love to check out what you've done.
There are a few. One popular one that you probably could get a game going in is it's called Murder at Tudor Mansion, like a murder mystery game.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. And did you design it from the ground up and everything?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I did
awesome.
it with some people as well. I did most of the logic stuff there, though, so I'm not good at art things.
That's cool. No, it's important to have, like, all the different aspects all coming together, so heck yeah. Nice.
And another one, which is more recent, I don't know if you'd be able to get a game going in there, though, because not a ton of people play it. It's called Core Wars. It's like a Minecraft Bed Wars, basically, is how I explain it to everyone.
A Minecraft what wars?
Bed Wars.
What are Bed Wars? I've never heard of that.
Okay. Well, so ignore what I just said. It's a game where there are 4 teams, and 4 people on each team. Each team has their own island, and they have a core on their island that other teams can attack.
Yep.
The core is what allows them to respawn when they die. If their core is destroyed and they die, they're out forever. So it's basically the last man standing.
Okay.
To destroy everyone's cores.
I played
You can
games
get
like that.
upgrades. Yeah.
That's
We
cool.
built that, and we actually entered it into a contest, which I went to the award ceremony for yesterday. That was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, nice. And was it a contest specifically for Rec Room games? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'll end up having other Rec Room creators coming in here too to work on stuff too? Like as far as building?
Honestly, no. And I think honestly just a big reason for that is because it's kind of difficult to get into things here.
That's true.
A lot of, I actually heard about this game through the community and
Through the Who community? I'm sorry. You're cutting up a little bit here and there.
Community or through some folks that I hang out with, and I don't think any of them wants to put up with it. Based off of what I heard.
Yeah, I guess it takes a certain type of super user because it's like learning Blender. You know, like if you have a software that you really like that's really user friendly, you can do a lot of stuff with it, but it might be limited. When you look at Blender for the first time, you're just like, this is a giant flight panel. Like which button does what? How do I do this or that? And I think that Neos is kind of like the VR version of that. You come in here and you're like, how do I move? And then you might get just the basic normal stuff, and then you're like, wait, what's Logix? And then from there, it's like, wait, there's no manual? Well, I mean, there's a little bit of information here and there, and there's definitely some good tutorials. But certainly that's definitely intimidating.
Yeah.
But I think it will get better, though. Like, I think eventually people will, there'll be more and more information, there'll be lots more examples, and a lot more people to help. And as there's more and more modular pieces for people to work with and modular systems, we'll see a lot of really cool stuff happen from there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Where is... I'm trying to find... This is real weird. Okay. There we are. That's what I want. I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to get the gizmo to pop up so I can change. There we are. I just wanted to look at it. Okay. Let's make this slightly larger. Why am I being so particular? There's no need for that. So yeah, I wonder how we'll end up building out. I'm debating on right now how we want to split it up. They had it 4 ways, like 4 barriers. There might be a easier way than barriers that we can just like plunk down some kind of wall system. Nah, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do it this way. I'm just going to shoot the ground. We'll just start with the ground, regular ground, and then we can build it up from there. Let's make sure it doesn't burn out people's eyes. That's pretty bright. Yeah, I'm changing the ground, everyone. This seems a little bit bright, doesn't it? Let's make it a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that's not
Pretty
ideal.
saturated.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I think that should be doable.
I feel like that's a little bit more calm.
Quite.
But how you're doing it now with this? What kind of data you put in here now? That it's this
So yeah.
pyramid.
So this is just,
And you're looking to make a team. Did any of those examples help last week to look at as far as like the health systems and other stuff?
So it's just in this variable here. If you
No, I actually didn't get to look at them because I didn't get on much last week.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you have any questions. It's not a crazy system. Basically, you load into your this is from what I remember. It's been a while, so I could be not perfectly right on it. You load in. You have it hijack into the locomotion system. and then in that locomotion system, it has like a series of integers or whatever, and the impulse. Basically, it does like an impulse trigger sends off to an impulse receiver, which is you. So, like if you have just like a tooltip, you're shooting it, the raycast hits you. Therefore, it triggers triggers the event. So if it says if hit you, X amount decreased, send a receiver to you, the user that it hit, and remove so much. And it's so it might sound crazier, but it's not too bad.
Probably helpful, but I don't know if this is too complex, or there should be some strict guidelines how to put the CSV data then, because I guess.
So yeah.
Okay, so on the actual stream that you'll be giving.
But those should be fairly intuitive. How have you been doing with logic stuff? Have you done much with it yet? With any logics?
Just have some things set up before.
Yeah, what I've gotten done in my world is just I have like a basic. There's like a board that you can look at, and it shows who's on what team. You can switch teams with a button. I have a basic gun system set up. I recently set up a system so that it gives you it puts an object under you called out, so that when you try and grab something, it won't let you grab it. It recognizes that you're out. That's pretty much the stuff I've gotten done in there.
That's not too bad of a start.
To know that it will work. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Then have some problem and then.
Have you posted in the Discord about what you're doing? You might, if you want to work with other people. There might be a bunch of other people that want to do stuff with you too.
That in for me, Sarah.
Would be interested in that stuff.
Monsoon, I think his name was.
Oh yeah, Monsoon of Babies is awesome.
Yeah, he was talking about that he was also interested in like creating games, and mentioned that maybe we should team up sometime.
Oh, that guy's perfect. He's awesome, dude.
They are doing the economic data of Austria in graphics. Yeah, I can send you like an entire ebook of that stuff, but anyway, this is too much for like this is one thing that we will show.
I'm making a mess.
On the stream, and I think like 1 or 2 data sets are totally fine for that, because we will look at a lot of different things. We will visit the campus, we will visit a Cherokee village, we will see some educational worlds, and it's more like the general concept of like how awesome VR and Neos is for education.
Okay.
So it's just one part. So it's not like a talk about visualizing statistic data in VR. Yeah? So it's
just like an extra thing.
Is that the thing you're going to be?
It's an extra thing that is important because it's like the museum that does that stuff usually. Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
With this yearbook. But it's not that we have to like take the complete yearbook of Austrian economy and put it in graphics. I mean, would be awesome. On a later stage, that would be an absolute cool thing to do it with the museum, and I think that we're going to do that at one point.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
It's going well. The world took a bit of time to load, but that's just my internet.
One or two other data sets you'd like me to take a look at, I can do that.
Can you hear me well?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, nice. How's it going here?
Not too bad. We're just people are working on some different things. I'm going to start working on environmental stuff and go from there.
Environmental stuff, like
what's that?
Environmental stuff, you said?
Yeah, I figured